Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite promotions from across the globe, and much, much more. We will also bring you exclusive interviews with the greatest professional wrestling personalities on the local, national, and international levels. If you want to follow the Wrestle Talk Podcast, check us out online at www.wrestletalkpodcast.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. And now, it's time for the reigning, defending, undisputed leader in pro wrestling podcast, the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Good evening, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast. For the next 2 hours, we will bring you the latest pro wrestling news, in-depth analysis of all your favorite
Que pasa, loyal members of the Wrestle Talk family. Allow me to be the first to welcome you into a very special episode of the WTP, baby. Why is it special? Well, not only are we creeping closer to episode 500, baby, tonight, we've got two very special hosts, yours truly not included. You see, the Wrestle Talk podcast is about a lot of things. One of the things that we take pride in is varying perspectives and takes, and there's no question in my mind that these two individuals are going to give you that and a whole lot more. So let me go ahead and get the hell out of the way by doing these introductions. First, ladies and gentlemen, I call him my pro wrestling godfather, even though he's my little bro in a sense. That's right, guys. You know him. He's the money man. He's a dude that gets business done, whether he's on the clock or on Wrestle Talk Podcast. You can find him at a local independent wrestling show near you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Sonny Money Mayo.
Yo. Money. Let's get it.
Let's go. I got one more introduction, baby. I got one more, and then I'll let y'all handle this thing, Sonny Money. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the second host of tonight's episode, that's 474, for the record, is a man that you can find plying his trade in the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. The dude's also basically obsessed with wrestling, from New Japan to Lucha to everything going on in the States. Recently being all over the MLW thing, and who knows, he may be in St. Petersburg in a little bit. That's right, folks. You know him as Gabriel. I know him as Arsene, but everybody must respect this man because he is your WWC Warriors Heart Champion, the one and only Gabriel Arsene.
How we doing, Wrestle Talk Podcast Familia? It's Sonny Money and Gabriel Arsene. This is going to be a different combo, but you know what they say, buddy? The opposites attract, right?
I don't even think we're really that opposite, bro. I mean, we both love pro wrestling. Now, I don't follow New Japan like you do, and you probably don't follow the deathmatch like I do, but we're going to bring it all together because it's episode 474. It's Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We are at episode 474, Gabe. Bro, we are 26 episodes away. Like, that's freaking mind-blowing, all right? I know I say this every time. I try not to reminisce. I am a history buff, but geez, man, that blows me away. Yo, real quick, before we hit everything else, I want to give a big special shout-out to my boy Tyler Cooley right there, bro. He's in the mix every single week. He's always hitting up Night Owl. He's hitting up Money Mayo. He's hitting up Skywalker, Flywalker. Gabe, I'm sure he's been in your inbox, bro. I want to show major love to Tyler Cooley, man. Big shout out to him.
Yeah, definitely our the F or I'm excuse I almost said the FWWC, the Wrestle Talk podcast #1 fan. You know, always in the comment section, always here during the shows. We appreciate it any way we can, folks, because we love to see it. And a diehard fan just like us, you know, it it looks like you got a fan money.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, don't quote me on this, all right, Gabe? But I heard a little rumor, I heard a little birdie that we might even see Tyler Cooley on a future episode of Wrestle Talk podcast. I'm not guaranteeing nothing. We'll see what happens. I know life sways this, that, and the other. But maybe we'll even get Tyler Cooley on there. But here's the deal, Gabe, and I want to throw this out there because listen, we got to give a big shout out to our sponsors. We're going to give you the rundown of what's going to happen on Wrestle Talk podcast tonight. But I want to make this known, okay? We say this to each and every person out there every single episode, every Tuesday night. Feel free to come on and join us, folks, okay? Feel free. Drop a message tonight out tonight. Say, yo, drop me the link. I'd like to come on High Spots. I'd like to come on Shoot and Shout. I'd like to come on and speak my piece, whether it's 2 minutes, 2 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 seconds. It does not matter. Okay, we would love to bring everybody and anybody on who would like to join us. And if you don't want to, that's fine. Keep that comment section rolling. But I also ask one other thing. Please share on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, the whole 9 yards. But here's the key to it, folks. If you're going to share it, you can see it right under my name tonight. Hashtag Let's Talk Wrestling, because that's what we are about here at Wrestle Talk Podcast, all right? The best damn pro wrestling podcast in the game today. We talk pro wrestling, all right? We talk all of it. Independent, professional, even fantasy, which we'll get into later on, all right? So, yo, please share. Please feel free to join. But if you are going to share, hashtag Let's Talk Wrestling. Big shout out to my boy Brandon Buck there, man. So, yo, Gabe, are you ready to get this thing cracking, rolling tonight, bro?
I'm been ready, Sonny Money. I'm ready to roll out and let's kick it.
Well, listen, we're not able to do this. So big shout out to my man Night Owl back there. But we're not able to do this without our fabulous, fabulous sponsors, all right? Listen, man, we're not able to come on each and every Tuesday. I say this every time, and I just want to reiterate that point, all right? So big shout out to all of our sponsors, all right? The first and foremost, my brother, Dewan, Royals Mills Transportation. He'll get you from A to B, B to Z, no problem. Noble Men's Barbers Lounge, KCMO. All right, you need to go get faded up. Now, listen, I usually have the big slick back hair, but I took care of this myself. Next time, I'm going to Nobleman's Barber Lounge, KCMO. All right, that's where you need to be. You get lined up. They're going to take care of you there. Tell them you're a friend and family of Wrestle Talk Podcast. Big shout out to another one of our sponsors, Kincaid Arcade at Oak Park Mall. Big shout out to my boy DBD. I went and held it down. I got to see him in Westport this weekend. He was doing the Retrocade. He's a big, he's family of Wrestle Talk, and he's a big supporter of Wrestle Talk, and he's also a sponsor. So big shout out to him. I-70 Sports Media. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to everybody over there holding it down. Little Popeye Designs. Yo, they got the tumblers, Gabe. I hope you got the tumbler. I don't have my tumbler yet, but I do got the original Wrestle Talk podcast glass here. All right, sit right next to me throughout the whole show. So big shout out to everybody over there. And listen, folks. Again, we cannot do this without all these sponsors. And I'm not just doing this because we have to do it. It's a sincere thank you from everybody here at Wrestle Talk Podcast. All right. So Little Popeye Designs, get your Wrestle Talk podcast tumbler. And my personal favorite, the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group. Folks, we're going to get all into that FWWC tonight on Wrestle Talk Podcast, episode 474. All right. So just hold tight on that for me. All right.
You might see a couple faces here or there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You never know, man. We mix it up each and every week, brother. But it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. You know what I mean? So listen, we're able to do this. We're able to do this because of great hosts. We're able to do this because of great supporters in the comment section. We're able to do this because of great sponsors. But we wouldn't be able to do any of this right now. We wouldn't be able to make any of these moves in this great nation. All right. If we wouldn't be able to if we weren't in different countries, different laws, so on and so forth. But to me, we're in a great, great nation. I love America. I love being an American. I know you do too, Gabe. You know what I mean? Beautiful down there in Florida, bro. beautiful up here in KC, but beautiful across this whole country, man. So right now, my man Night Owl, if you wouldn't mind, brother, if you would please, let's get that national anthem going. Everybody out there in the comment section, take your hats off like Sonny Money's doing, and let's get our national anthem going, man. Please. I know she's queuing it up. She's getting her voice ready.
And as one John Haas would say, brings a tear to your eye and some blood to your ears.
Brings a tear to your eye and blood to your ears, bro. Every time, man. And still a smile on my face. I'm just so happy tonight to be here, dog. But it's crazy. Big shout out to AJ Wallace. He's always participating. That's Wrestle Talk Podcast family right there. Says it brings a tear to his eye, too.
Sorry to talk over you, Sonny. Just be sure to confirm, AJ. We can't see your profile picture.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And anybody out there who's chiming in, please make sure you're opened up so we can see your name. We can give you a shout out, because anybody who's participating tonight, even if you haven't done it before, you'll quickly become a part of the Wrestle Talk Podcast family. But we got a lot of family over here at Wrestle Talk Podcast, Gabe, right?
Yep. We love to hear it. That's why we, like you said, Sonny, we want to hear different opinions, because
absolutely.
We never want to shut a door when it comes to wrestling. Any new opportunity we can get, whether it's through our guests, whether through our fandom, through just our ability to talk wrestling, it's a fun opportunity for us because we love it. I love it. I don't know about y'all. I like talking about this shit.
Nah, bro, talking about it, going to events, going to local events, going to WWE, AEW. Me and Gabe, we need to get some plane tickets, go over to Tokyo and go check out some New Japan, bro. That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do, bro. That's what we need to do.
I'm trying to go to Japan. That's like my ultimate goal.
Well, listen,
Sonny, Brandon Buck got you back, Sonny. Thank
you.
Yeah,
big shout. Big shout out to the franchise, Brandon Buck, man. He's been holding it down here in the pro wrestling scene in the Midwest for quite a few years now. So I'm glad he's here tonight. I'm glad he's participating. But Gabe, man, listen, it's WrestleMania season. There's a lot of things going on, spring training, NFL free agency. But we ain't talking about all that. We talking about wrestling. Not all this sports stuff I got back here. Because I do got some wrestling stuff up here. Yeah, no, Wrestle Talk Podcast, baby. That's another podcast for another time, and we'll get down that road. But here we talk about pro wrestling, and it's WrestleMania season, bro, and it's hot and it's heavy, and there's a lot of subjects I want to cover in that, bro. So I don't know about you, Gabe, but I'm a little bit ready to do what we do best, and that's a little bit of high spots, bro. Are you about ready for some high spots, Gabe?
Night Owl, you better bring those high spots out because I'm ready to talk.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit, baby. Oh, shit.
Mic check.
DJ Money.
Yeah.
Kick it off.
All right. Wrestle Talk Podcast. DJ Money. Yeah. Let's go. Welcome to High Spots, where we pop news like clear shots. We talk shop, coming through the screens of a laptop. And non-stop like a runner speakers of blacktop. We hit hard like chair shots and backdrops. Like a block flash, look like a belly flop. Now that's hard. We up to speed while they stay slow. Wrestle Talk Podcast, now they know we about to start the show.
Oh, yeah, baby. You know what time it is. It's time to start covering all the hottest topics in professional wrestling today. Episode 474. Welcome to the High Spots edition of the show. Yo, here we go, man. Now, this is my favorite thing that we've added to Wrestle Talk Podcast over the past 6 months to a year or so, is before we would kind of have it kind of in order, but now we updated that technology, bro. You know what I mean? So now we got the Wheel of Fortune wheel. We got the randomizer, bro. You know what I mean? Don't get caught getting at your job with the randomizer. But on Wrestle Talk Podcast, you want that randomizer rolling, dog. You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
Gabe, you ready? You ready to hear that randomizer going, dog? You about ready for high spots?
I'm Ben ready, bro. I'm ready, Freddie.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, people in the back, you know what to do. Let's hit that randomizer. Let's get it started with our first topic in the high spot segment of the show tonight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. With our first high spots topic tonight. With the biggest show on the horizon, what is your yearly WrestleMania plans and traditions? So I'm gonna go first on this one, Gabe. Is that cool? And then I'll let you hit the next one. Is that cool?
By
Yep.
all means, man. Take the lead.
All right, cool. So WrestleMania, the pro wrestling equivalent of the Super Bowl. Hell, even bigger than the Super Bowl because now ESPN does coverage on ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, ESPN Overnight, so on and so forth at WrestleMania. They do their coverage at WrestleMania. That was unheard of 15 years ago. All right. Now, what most Americans do who do not watch the glorious sport of pro wrestling is they get together for the Super Bowl. They usually have a Super Bowl party. You know, you got some finger foods and a couple beers, and usually that drunk uncle who makes an asshole of himself by halftime. Well, in the pro wrestling world, they do something similar. It's WrestleMania, and people get together and they have parties and they have get-togethers. It's our Super Bowl. So what else are we going to do? All right. Now, myself particularly, I just started having a WrestleMania tradition because before, up until about 2 years ago, I never knew what I was doing for WrestleMania, man. I didn't. And then all of a sudden, WrestleMania became 2 nights, not 1 night like it's been for all them years before. Now it's 2 nights. So now on my yearly WrestleMania traditions, on the first night, I get together with my brothers, which I'm going to do this year. Big shout out to my brothers. They know who they are. A lot of them are watching the show. Even one of them might be a part of the show at this moment in time. I get together with my brothers on Saturday night. And that's always, always, always been that way since WrestleMania went to 2 nights. I get together with my brothers. We chop it up. We tell some adult jokes that are not PG for the kids around. And that's what I do for night 1. Now, night 2 is just as special to me. Because now what I do is I go up to the meat store and I usually get some wings. All right. I sit at the crib all day with the family. I get the wings going. I go out on the trampoline with the Little Money Mayos, Max and Benny D. I let them freaking give me the Gunther chop. I let them give me the Walls of Jericho. I throw a couple of them, in the sharpshooter, and we wrestle around on the trampoline. We start getting hyped for WrestleMania. And then I sit with my family, my wife, my kids, and we sit around in the living room, and everybody's eyes are glued to WrestleMania. Like my wife, she don't really care about pro wrestling all that much. Nowhere near as all of us here at the Wrestle Talk podcast. But she's even glued when night 2 of WrestleMania is on. Her phone is down. She's not sharing cooking recipes. Shout out to you, Rachel. I love you, baby. But she's glued to the TV, bro. And that's such a beautiful WrestleMania tradition for me. So night 1, I get time in with my brothers, my homeboys, and we laugh and we cut it up. And then night 2, I get wings during the day, and I'm still with my kids. And my son Maximus, who loves wrestling just as much as his father, is glued to the TV. Benny D loves wrestling, glued to the TV. Wifey, glued to the TV. And of course, you know me. I ain't even watching half the show because I'm sharing all the memes and I'm out there in Facebook land and I'm hashtagging Let's Talk Wrestling and talking about what's going on at the moment. So that's my yearly WrestleMania traditions. And ladies and gentlemen, feel free again. You like to join the show, just give Night Out a shout. If you'd like to drop it in the comment section, we'll definitely read it out. But Gabe, I gotta know yours, bro. Do you have yearly WrestleMania traditions?
See, the thing is, I'm not stable enough to where I have a spot, but I try to make shit happen where I can. So now, because I have Discord, I have a lot of buddies that I'll try to hit them up if they're ever busy, and I'll just do a watch party. Like I'll share my screen, or I'll lend them my account, and we can just watch that on the TV. Or if I'm really lucky, I try to get people here. Now, having said that, my ideal, like if I could play pretend here a little bit, my ideal watch party Basically, just what you said, that it would just be the WrestleMania equivalent of a Super Bowl party. I just want like one of those big chip dip stadium things, but it's the WWE one, like, and
Yeah.
just like we'd have a contest, like pin the championship on the guy. Like, you remember those old school WCW watch party videotapes they would send in? I want something like that. Just something fun for like everybody. Bring the whole family. It'd be nice. I think it'd be cool.
No, that'd be super dope, bro. And listen, I wish I wish I would have thought about this a little bit beforehand, but you could go back and find it, all right? We used to do Universe Mania, bro. We used to have FWWC Universe Mania, and we used to have watch parties for WrestleMania where we'd have 50, 75, 100 people show up. It was crazy, bro, crazy. Those were almost yearly. Those were actually more of a big pay-per-view tradition. So we would do it for Royal Rumble, we would do it for WrestleMania, we would do it for SummerSlam, and we do it for Survivor Series. Not every single pay-per-view, but we used to have
Four,
big,
though.
big, the big four, bro. But
That
we used to
works.
have big major watch parties, man. Wrestle Talk Podcast fam, what are some of your favorite WrestleMania traditions?
Let
Hashtag
us know
Let's
in the
Talk
comment
Wrestling.
section,
Yeah,
guys.
man,
Tell
please
us your
let us
favorite
know,
wrestling
man. This
stories.
is a big high spot for me, man, because
Yep.
WrestleMania is coming up, and I always, in years past, I've always tried to get people together and what are you doing? What are you doing? And people really didn't know, you know what I mean? But here's the deal, Gabe, real quick,
Yeah.
and I'm about to pass it to you, man, real
You
quick. But
should.
here's the deal: people who ain't even really watching wrestling watch WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
You
Like
right
people
though.
who are like, oh yeah, I know Stone Cold and I know
Yeah,
Hulk
the
Hogan,
old
and like the
school.
big thing around here is like, oh, I know Harley Race. Well, like, yo, WrestleMania is on.
There you
Yeah,
go.
you know what I mean? So
No, I was gonna say it's perfect that you bring that up because we can build off of that question that we just sent to the comment section. We could talk about nostalgic WrestleMania memories. Because I
yeah,
was talking to Night Owl about this, so he's not on the show, so I figure I could talk to you about this.
sure.
My most nostalgic WrestleMania is my first one, and ironically, not ironically, but it was WrestleMania 32, I believe. That was my first ever WrestleMania I watched, and I was so hyped about it. Just the nostalgia. If I can shout them out, Tom and Lacey, fantastic people. Love you guys. All the love coming towards your Wrestle Talk podcast family.
Yeah, yeah.
But my buddy Alfonso and me, we were playing scorecard. So, the whole time, like, I think it was AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. And the whole time, me and him were like, get his ass. I think he wanted AJ and I wanted Chris. And we were at each other's throats the whole time. Lacey cooked dinner. It was perfect. I think we went to the 7-Eleven, got some sodas and shit. It
Y'all
was
got
great.
some blunt wraps, bro. Don't lie. Y'all got some raps, bro. Y'all were out
I
there
was, I was still
hanging
in
with the
high school.
Godfather,
I was
bro.
still in high school, dog.
You were hitting that RVD 420, bro. That's what you were out there doing.
Nah,
I
I'm
know
on
what
that
you were
Matt
doing,
Riddle,
Gabe.
bro. All day.
Yeah, beautiful,
What
man.
about
No,
you?
and
What's your
that's
nostalgic WrestleMania memory?
oh man, bro. So I'll give you kind of like, all right, so I'll kind of give you my first memory and then I'll give you my favorite. So like my first real WrestleMania memory is Bam Bam versus LT back in 95, bro. So that would be WrestleMania 11. I kind of remember WrestleMania
Yeah,
10, but I
yeah.
remember WrestleMania
It's either
11
11 or
very.
12.
Yeah, it was 11 because 12 was Sean and Brett for the
That's
title
right.
of the
That's
Iron
right.
Man.
It is
And,
11.
and, and here's an
Can,
unpopular opinion, and that's WrestleMania. That Sean and Brett Iron Man match, nah, bro, I'm cool. I've
no,
seen better
like,
Iron Man match. Nah.
can I say real quick? Just there's 30 minutes where nothing happens and it's really good last 10 minutes. That's it. That's the part they want us to remember.
Yeah,
Now continue. You were saying
yeah.
LT versus Bam Bam Bigelow, which is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that bad,
LT
I might
versus Bam
admit.
Bam Bigelow. That's one of my first. That's one of my very first like memories of Mania. I know I watched and had Mania on before that, but like that's the one that really kind of pops in clearly for me. Now my favorite one, bro. Golly. All right, so this is my personal favorite one. This is going to rub some people the wrong way, and I'm not. That's not my intent here, okay? But as a diehard pro wrestling fan, to see Chris Benoit win that title at WrestleMania 20, bro, at that time, okay, not now, I know what happened. We don't need to go down that road. But at that time in 2004, like that whole WrestleMania 20 was pretty dope. You take outside of Goldberg and Brock, and everybody knew where they were leaving, and the crowd hijacked that match. But for the Undertaker to come back as the dead man persona at that pay-per-view against Kane, and Stone Cold did throw the stunner on Brock and everybody in there. But Chris Benoit, bro, and the end of that show, Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero both hugging, man. That was special as like a diehard pro wrestling fan right there for me. So, and there's a lot of great ones along the way. Austin turned heel against The Rock at the second one of their trilogy, joining Vince McMahon. Brock Lesnar trying to hit that shooting star at WrestleMania 19.
Almost died.
Yeah, bro. Cena winning the title for the first time against JBL. I mean, there's been a lot of the streak at WrestleMania get ended. Listen, the whole pro wrestling world stop for that, bro. Are you crazy? Are you nuts? Bro, they should have. And that's my thing too. They should not have ended the streak of WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
I agree. I absolutely agree. But I want to build off of what you want to say since you mentioned number 30 or 20. I want to mention WrestleMania 30 because I feel like it gives me the same effect that I get with Benoit. And you need to understand, Money. I love him. Okay. I love him on all sides in terms of wrestling. I try to separate art from artists because I know we shouldn't be that bold about a gentleman like that. But that's why I meet in the middle and say WrestleMania 30 because I get the same effect with Daniel Bryan. The under guy, a cruiserweight, get the fans pushing for something, a changing of the garb, and not to mention they both use the crossface.
Yep. Bro, I got to see early Bryan Danielson in a gym in Rahway, New Jersey, dog. I got to see it. Yeah, it was crazy.
Danielson, though.
Crazy,
that was when he was fighting. Could you imagine that? He's so more mellow now, I feel, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, like, he's just done it all that he doesn't need to prove himself anymore. That was when he had to prove himself. That's when this dude would kick your head off.
Yeah, exactly. Care. Hey, and I see the comment section lighting up, and I appreciate everybody out there, but that's the one I want to hit right there real quick. Another gentleman who's part of the Wrestle Talk podcast family, Mr. Tyler Cooley, he throws the question out there: how would you gentlemen feel about a Sting versus Undertaker WrestleMania match? Listen, that is the one match in fantasy pro wrestling booking that should have happened. People can argue Stone Cold versus Hulk Hogan. People could argue Stone Cold versus Goldberg. People could argue whatever. All right. To me,
Josh,
personally, Sting, the Crow Sting versus the Dead Man Undertaker. Like WWE, I mean, they of all the great things they've done, they dropped the ball on a lot of stuff too. They dropped the ball on the the Alliance and the ECW and WCW deal. Booker T should have got the title over Triple H or WrestleMania. I could go down the list on everything the WWE dropped the ball on. But to me, that was the biggest thing they dropped the ball on. You bring in Sting to WWE, and he was only there. Gabe, he was only there a year and some change maybe, and he unfortunately got hurt. And they had him in there with Seth Rollins. And don't get me wrong, but I watched, but I mean, WWE dropped the ball so bad with that. That first WrestleMania, Sting and Triple H, the one in San Francisco, that should have been Sting and Undertaker. And you ain't telling me nothing different ever in life.
Absolutely. And the thing is we can go back and forth about like how they handled him in AEW, but I still feel like that was a much more immortal contract level event for Sting, because I'm like, let's be real here, it's Sting. If anybody deserves to go undefeated, it's Sting. I'll say it. I don't care what anybody says to me.
You ain't getting no disagreements from me though. And that's another thing too. There's a lot of people out
everywhere.
There. What's that?
He's splashed everywhere, dude.
Everywhere, bro. It's 60-something years old.
Tell me how I'm still finding footage of Sting. I just found new footage of this dude in All Japan Pro Wrestling. He hits the biggest tope I have seen in my life. He looked like Superman. It was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, dog. And he was still doing it at 64 in AEW. And a lot of people shit on AEW. Whatever, that's their own personal opinion. But they did do Sting right. You know what I mean? They did do Sting. They did do Sting. Yeah, and teach their own, bro. We ain't gonna go down that. We ain't gonna go down that road right now. We ain't gonna go down that road right now. So listen, one more time, Night Owl. Throw a couple more comments up before we hit the next high spots. The topic, and we kind of got off there. I'm glad we did though, because that was a really cool little intersection there. But we're talking about our first high spots topic of the night: yearly WrestleMania traditions. I'm gonna keep it the same way this year, Gabe. I'm gonna meet up with my brothers on night 1, and we're gonna do our thing. And then night 2 on that Sunday, I'm here at the crib. You know what I mean? So what's gonna be yours this year, Gabe? You gonna maybe start a new tradition now that I threw this question out there?
I'm glad you mentioned it because I was just thinking about this. Let's make a challenge. Everybody try and make a new WrestleMania tradition this year. So like for me, I think I want to try and make a snack food or something, like a themed meal if I can, and if not, I got to do an entrance with my belt, like with the music, post it on Twitter, be like, "Yo, this is my boy. Like, who's winning? My boy Cody."
Yeah.
But what about you, Sonny? What are you thinking of doing?
Dog, same thing like I'm saying, bro. I'm excited as hell. Night 1 is going to be, what's the main event? It's going to be Rock and acknowledge him, your tribal chief. I acknowledge him, your tribal chief, against the crybaby Codys. The crybaby Codys. I can't say that too loud. I don't want to say that too loud. My son will come busting in that door and he'll give me the sleep.
All the tears. They're
But
salty.
yeah, the crybaby Codys and Becky Lynch's wife. Against them two. So let's go Bloodline. That's why I got the red on in the background. Bloodline, baby. So night 1, I'm hyped. I'll be with my brothers for that one. And then night 2, we're gonna have the wings. We're gonna have the chips and the dip and the soda and a couple beers and some water and the dogs running around and my kids trying to give me the Gunther chop. Gunther, give me the chop out on the trampoline. And we're gonna come in and watch the main event and watch Roman beat Cody Rhodes. All right, that's what's going to happen. That's RKO wings. Yo, that's a good point right there, bro. You know what I mean? Or instead of barbecue wings, RKO wings, bro. We got to do a little St. Louis style wings or something like that. So yeah, man. Everybody out there, get your yearly traditions up on WrestleMania, baby. It's the Super Bowl of wrestling. So, Gabe, how do you feel about keeping this thing flowing? Because I know we got a lot of topics there.
I say let's throw it to the randomizer, Night Owl.
Night Owl, do you think? Go ahead, Gabe. You read that one off for me, brother.
All right, so we got at AEW Dynasty in St. Louis, we will see Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. What are your thoughts on this landmark match? I kind of want to take the lead on this one, Sonny, because
you got it.
I'm finishing up the G1 Climax right now. I'm trying to catch up with a lot of Will Ospreay's work and even Bryan Danielson. I'm trying to make time for him. Folks, don't miss this match. That's all I'm trying to say. I know everybody's kind of on the fence about AEW right now. You know, it feels like they gave us too much, promised too much, and it all crashed for one reason or another. And you don't want to look back. It seems like a dumpster fire. Give us a watch. Let it paint a picture. See if you want to stick around for Okada and Monet. Because Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay are going to break the star scale. Like, just... Because everybody boils down Will Ospreay like he's just this flippy hippy dippy dude, but this dude can fucking go and he knows how to sell in wrestling. And Danielson is the American Dragon. So just give him this platform, Tony. Like, let them talk too, because I want to see what Ospreay can get away with on AEW television. I know they're a little more lenient about swearing, and just lean into Danielson being the wrestling god that he is. These two are gonna carve their name into the wrestling stars. That's the best way to describe it, guys. It's an Olympic level proportion match. But what are your thoughts on the match, Sonny? Like, are you curious?
Are you done with that shit, Gabe? Man, get that shit out of here, bro. I ain't trying to see no damn Ospreay and Dan. No, I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding. All right, so here's the deal. Here's the deal, okay? Here's the deal. How I used to feel about Bryan Danielson is how you feel about Will Ospreay now. I used to be one of the biggest Bryan Danielson marks, and this is a true story. I used to pull up the Night Owl's crib on a Saturday night at like midnight or 1 a.m., blasting Final Countdown out of the speakers in my car just to piss him off because I was that big of a Bryan Danielson mark, all right? Now, with that being said, I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe I fell out of flavor. Maybe it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Shout out to Taylor. Maybe that's me. All right. But just the flavor of Bryan Danielson has kind of went away from the Money Mayo mark. All right. Now, I know my man is killing it. I know he's having great matches against a bunch of great talent, the Japanese talent included. I see clips of them smacking the shit out of each other in the middle of the ring, doing that hard, stiff style, shoot style, whatever you want to call it. All right.
Strong style.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. But I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like this match should be promoted a little bit heavier, Gabe. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, because listen, I agree with you. This is a monumental match. Monumental, especially for AEW, okay? And for them to do it in the great city of St. Louis, besides Quick Trip and Emo's Pizza, but the great city of St. Louis, all right? For them to
Still
do
gotta
it
have
there.
that match for Rodell, bro.
Nah, fuck that, man. I ain't talking about that right now. Yeah, Chris Rodell, I love you, brother, but Quick Trip Pizza fucking gives me the drizzle
You
and
left
shit.
the
So,
pizza
Do a
hanging,
dime.
bro.
fuck that pizza.
Not a
That shit
dime.
ain't real pizza.
Not a
All
dime.
right, so, but listen, bro, I don't know, man. Listen, hey, what am I? Yeah, it's like the question says, it's a landmark match, and Dave Meltzer's going to be sitting there rock hard talking about 5 stars just for them walking out to the ring. I get it, but man, I just kind of feel like AEW's kind of dropping the ball a little bit on this one. Like this is my thought on this. All right, and I'm gonna pass this to you, Gabe, but this is my thought. This is such a big match for AEW, the promotion. Okay, they should be having this shit up on billboards. This shit should be in ads when you get on YouTube, when you get on Facebook, when you get on Twitch, when you get on MySpace, when you get on Nickelodeon Kids and Disney Club. It should be Will Ospreay smacking the shit out of Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan smacking the shit out of Will Ospreay. All right, that's what AEW should be doing to promote this. I just don't feel like it's getting promoted enough, Gabe. That's my whole thing. Like Pro Wrestling Marks, you and I and fans in the comment section know the deal. But like to the general public, yeah, I mean, like, bro, you want eyes on AEW a little bit more? Promote this match. Promote this match like WWE is promoting WrestleMania. Promote the shit out of this match.
I couldn't agree more, Sonny. Only because I think, internet marks aside, they need to push for that demographic, especially because it's still WrestleMania season, and if you play it smartly enough, you can get the smarks to
Right.
watch it, to trash on it, and it's like, congratulations, you paid them to watch it, dummy. Like you know what I mean? Like, that's all it takes, and you just need to promote it to people. It's convincing the people who are like, I don't know about it, to go, okay, I'm starting to feel this, or okay, let's see where this goes. And they can do that. Just let Danielson and let Will Ospreay talk. I genuinely think they just need to be like, hey, these two guys are going to fight. You really want to see these guys fight. Here's why they want to fight each other. That's it. That's all you need to sell it with.
And speaking about them talking, I seen last week live, Will Ospreay dropped that promo on AEW. And you know for a fact, corporate up in Stamford, Connecticut was like, yo, fuck. We knew this dude did this flippy shit, but we didn't know he could get on the mic too. My man cut a hell of a promo, bro. It's a big shout out to him.
Nobody sleeps on
So
Ospreay.
hold on, Gabe. I don't mean to interrupt you, but here's our weekly chime in from the one and only Joe Lance's favorite, all right, the Snitch. The Snitch says, for those who are just listening and not watching, but you should be doing both, the Snitch says, I'm the only worker that gets 5 stars by just walking through the curtain. Listen, Snitch, when you walk through the curtain, that's my time to go get popcorn, get something to drink, call my wife, smoke a bowl, take a shit, and then hopefully by the time I make it back to my ringside seat, you getting pinned 1, 2, 3, walking out the building. Now, I know that hasn't happened for you in a long time. I know you've been out here doing your dirty, stinking antics, all right? Because just like the shirt says, heel, and you are one by nature, and I'm not talking about the thing on your foot. Your time's coming, Snitch, okay? You're going to get pinned, all right? You're going to get pinned. You're not getting 5 stars just through walking through the curtain. All right, you're not Will Ospreay. You're not the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Shit, you son, you ain't even my boy Gabe, the co-host tonight. All right, my boy Gabe has got more clout than you, Snitch. That's my word. That's my word right there. So, sorry, bro. I didn't mean to drag you into that, but Snitch be on here talking crazy every week on Wrestle Talk Podcast, bro. What am I supposed to do over here?
He's I think he's just picking a fight.
Yo, I'm just saying, bro. I pay attention to what Snitch is doing over there at Dynamo Pro
Snitch
Wrestling,
versus
bro.
Sunny Money at the
Nah. I stay on the other side of the guardrail. I pay my ticket and come in and talk the loudest shit. If I wanted to get my ass in the ring, trust me, I would have got my ass in the ring. But I love disappointing you, Sonny. I just can't stop winning. Well, this ain't about Snitch right now. All right, Snitch, you just sit back in the comment section and you enjoy our high spot segment of Wrestle Talk Podcast, episode 474. That's what you need to do. Out here cheating and shit. So, all right, Gabe. So, you feel me, bro? AEW not promoting it enough. You know what I mean? Everybody in the comment section, where you at? Where you stand on this? AEW Dynasty in St. Louis. St. Louis is so lucky to get this match, man. So lucky. But you got.
I want them to spread the word. I want everybody to say AEW promote this stuff. Tell them why we should care about this match, because I think it's worth that much, and I think everybody should understand that it's worth that much. But
yeah, exactly right, bro. Exactly right, man. Well, listen, Night Owl, I want to keep this thing rolling. I know we about 45 minutes into the show. It's been flowing like freaking river water over here. It's a blast. I'm having a great time with my boy Gabe. I want to keep this thing going with the high spots. So, Gabe, you about ready to hit this randomizer? We done with Will Ospreay, American Dragon right now?
I'm ready to keep it rolling.
Let's keep this thing going, bro. There's so much other pro wrestling to discuss. So, Night Owl, hit that randomizer, Playboy.
It's my bread and butter, dog.
Oh, yeah. Now we talking. All right. So for our next high spots topic, with The Rock's recent profanity-filled promo, should WWE let more wrestlers cuss in their promos? Okay, I'm going to start this one. Is that cool, Arsene?
Take it away.
All right, my man. I just want to make sure I don't like stepping on toes like the Snitch does. All right, so WWE, since they got out of the PG era, now that's been a good 7-8 years now, maybe even closer to 10. My dogs are pissed off that that Snitch is in the comment section. They're back there going crazy. Since they got out of the PG
You trying
era,
to make sure he's not a guest again?
yeah, no, I don't need that, bro. That was some of the lowest ratings of Wrestle Talk podcast. But with that being said, let's keep it on topic. So, since WWE got out of the PG era, there's always been little sprinkles and hints of wrestlers doing maybe a shoot here and there and blurring the lines and dropping a cuss word here and there. And when they did that, I said, oh, shit, this feels real. This feels like a shoot. All right? Now, I personally don't believe you should be cussing in every single promo. I think you should be cussing in promos when it's a rivalry match, not just a regular-ass match. I believe that has to be really a good build-up for it, and I believe there has to be a reason for it, okay? With that being said, we are now coming into an era of WWE since The Rock joined the TKO Board of Promotions that it is almost Attitude Era-esque. All right. And for those who weren't around Attitude Era like I was, watching every single Monday night, watching every single Thursday night at the beginning of SmackDown, there was a lot of TNA, and I'm not talking NWA. There was a lot of blood and violence, and there was a lot of middle fingers from Stone Cold Steve Austin and shit bombs and FUs and this, that, and the other. All right. And fans have been clamoring for that, especially in seeing the PG era. And I get it. But now that it's here, I think it has to mean something, and which it does, okay? The Rock and Cody Rhodes are in an intense rivalry right now. Bloodline, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, so on and so forth. And The Rock is doing his damnedest to be a heel. And Rock's got all the clout in the world, not just the pro wrestling world, the world, all right? The world, Chico, and everything in it. And with this intense rivalry and him becoming a heel and him trying to get this storyline over and him really wanting to nail it down and him being in charge now, I thought that was really dope that he came out and dropped a cuss word promo. What I did not enjoy so much was Cody Rhodes, your bread and butter babyface, on Monday Night Raw last night. and I hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody, but Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw last night, bread and butter babyface, is out here talking about little dick syndrome. You a bitch. You ain't shit. Come on, bro. You the babyface. I get that the fans and the marks like me and Gabe and everybody wants to see the cuss words here and there, but I don't feel like Cody Rhodes needs to be saying that. He's out here clamoring for the young kids, like my son Maximus, 7 years old. I'm watching Raw with Maximus last night. Cody Rhodes is talking about little dick syndrome. I gotta explain that to my 7-year-old. Like, it's a little bit different with The Rock, because I just be like, yo, that's a bad guy. Well, we got the good guys cussing now? Man, Gabe, it has to make sense. That's my overall point on this. And I don't think it made sense for Cody Rhodes. It made sense for The Rock. I don't think it made sense for Cody Rhodes.
I mean, to answer the question, I don't mind that The Rock is swearing. I think it works. I mean, they're still censoring it, so that's cool with me. And then, I mean, we all know what he's saying. Like, so it does its justice, but it works on another level because he's a heel. But he's the kind of heel where he's like, "Bitch, I'm the president of this company now." Like,
I'm
so
the final
yes,
boss. I'm the
yeah,
final boss.
I'm the final boss. I can swear on TV all I want because I got
Right.
pull like that. Like,
Right.
because you ain't me. Like, that's it. Because you're not me. Oh my god, I'm telling you, Sonny Money. This is why I need to be in wrestling. I want to trademark that phrase. Because you're not me.
Because you're not me. Yep.
That's it.
Yep. So do you think, like, let's take Cody and the Bloodline storyline out of the equation, all right? Gabe, how would you feel if WWE wrestlers just started throwing in shit and ass and MFer and little dick syndrome and bitch and hoe and this, that, and the other more into their promos? Like let's say it was like R-Truth and fucking JD McDonough from the Judgment Day. Like, if they were just backstage and they were like, yo, this match is the shit. Yeah, I mean, like, how would you feel about that?
I'm gonna be honest. JD McDonough saying this match is the shit, or R-Truth saying this match is the shit, sounds really funny.
Sure.
So I would be okay with that. But I don't know if it comes to swearing. I don't mind if they kind of shoot for the middle because it's like we've already had. When Matt Riddle, I just rewatched this recently. Actually, you remember when Matt Riddle dropped the F-bomb? He was like, "Bro, you don't get this shit. I'm gonna fuck you up." Like, he was so
Yeah,
ready. That
it
cracked me
made
up.
sense, though. It
Yeah,
made
no,
sense.
so I don't mind that certain wrestlers may allude to something or just straight up swear. I just think it needs to be done in a way that makes it matter. Because if everybody's doing it, it's going to take away from the effect. Like, you ever seen that episode of South Park where they say shit like 100 times and then it's by
Right,
the end, you don't even care that they're saying shit? Like,
right.
that's what it's like. So, to me, I think it makes sense that Cody's answering back. I feel like it's sort of that's his back foot in this, in this rivalry because, you know, it, it's like, Roman says something about his father, then Cody says something about their family in return, and then it's like The Rock says some bullshit about what was it? Starts calling him a pussy, fucking tells
Right.
him to go fuck himself. There's kids watching this show now.
But, bro, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? Because WWE is worldwide, okay? XPW Deathmatch Wrestling is not worldwide. And if I turn on XPW Deathmatch Wrestling and they're like, oh, shucks, by golly, I'm going to be like, yo, what the fuck is this? I turned this on a Saturday night. I got a couple beers. I got a bowl. I'm trying to watch fucking Deathmatch Fuck You Wrestling, all right? But it's hard a little bit.
Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a little bit different when you're worldwide. I'm glad they are kind of going back to that Attitude Era-esque, but in that same breath, as a father, as I'm sitting here with my young kid, I'm trying to
You don't,
understand why
you don't
my
want to be
son, who has this
advocating
Cody
for that.
Rhodes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
son has this Cody Rhodes shirt on, and the whole crowd has, his 13-year-old kids, the 4-year-old kids with Cody Rhodes signs, and my man's out here talking about little dick syndrome. I'm like,
I
what are
think
we talking about right now?
I do think though we gotta at least push the narrative of it is just to try and play devil's advocate here that it is eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
You know,
You're
it
gonna
makes
talk that
sense
shit, you're
though.
gonna hear that shit. But that's just me playing devil's advocate. What we got? What if Paul Heyman was the final boss and the head of the table all along?
That'd be wild, AJ. That'd be wild. That'd be wild. Hey, so Gabe, I want to switch it up here real quick. All right. Our boy Night Owl's in the back. He brought us into the show. I kind of want to get his thoughts. Night Owl, if you're cool with that, bro, because I really do want to know your thoughts. That's a shoot. I really want to know your thoughts, Night Owl. If you're able to jump on and kind of, give your opinion here real quick. What's up, Poppy? Man, me and him been rolling over here, but I really want your thoughts on this, bro. Them cussing in WWE now like they are, dog. Where are you standing on that?
There's a song that I've heard my entire life. It's actually in Spanish, and I'm gonna butcher this translation, but I think it encapsulates how I feel. I'll say it in Spanish first. It says, "No soy monedita de oro para caerle bien a todos." And what that means is there are very few things in this life that are unanimously loved. One of those things is going to be like a gold coin, right? Like anybody, pretty much, you find a gold coin, you're going to be happy. I don't care if you're a sinner or a saint. You find that coin, you're going to be happy. But aside from that, aside from a gold coin, we can't all agree. And that's what makes this such a difficult topic, because from, let's just say, 7 o'clock to 8:30, when my kids are up and kind of maybe will walk by and watch a little wrestling while I have it on TV, I'd prefer them not to hear it. But once they go to bed, I want it, baby. I want pause, major pause. So, I want that. I need it to be edgy, bro. And that's what has steered me away from WWE. Gabe, you and I were talking. You can, of course, cut me off whenever you want to, but I want to get this point out briefly. When I turned off WWE back in the day is when it got corny. And to me, when Stone Cold sold out and went corporate and started wearing the little cowboy hat and the guitar, corny. You see what I'm saying? So if you got JD McDonough and R-Truth saying it and it doesn't have an edge, it's corny and it gets played. So my answer is yes. It just has to be well placed and well timed. There's times and places for personal attacks in professional wrestling. Impromptu is not it. Impromptu is not it, just to get that cheap pop. It's like, hey, everybody in Kansas City, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Cheap pops, lazy bullshit. I'm never a fan of it, whether it's in fantasy wrestling and shoot wrestling, bro. I want it to feel authentic, and if they're doing it and it's not timely, then it's not worth it. Right. Those are my thoughts. Sorry. Go ahead, guys.
No, you're good.
Well, I just wanted to say, do you think the solution is that they sort of aim knowing that time slot, like if maybe they adjust and make sure that segments like that only air towards the end of the show, so that on the
for the sake of my nephews, yes. But I also think, like, if you watch Shrek as an adult, you're going to see many things in Shrek that you didn't see when you were a kid.
Right.
Like there's innuendos. So if they can't be creative enough to not be shit, fuck every single word, every other word, then I just think you're lazy and uncreative.
Bro, they dropped that. Cody was out there talking Little Dick Syndrome in the first hour of Monday Night.
It wasn't even my nigga. What? How fucking old are we, dog? You can't come up with nothing more sick. I know you got it in you. You're one of the greatest of all time. You can't give me better than that. Pause. Come on, bro. Be a fucking man. Like, act like you care about this shit enough to know when you can play with the words and when you could deliver it firmly. You pause. Like, you gotta know that shit, bro. You're the best in the world. How do you not know that? Some of this shit felt corny to me. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like the timing of it, especially with Cody, bro. I'm just the
Rock shit recently. Like the concert felt corny, and some of the Rock shit. Bro, like him trying to be, it's weird, bro, because The Rock is trying so hard to be a heel, but he was like getting cheers and people were cheering for him. And it's just like, it was different 20 years ago when he was Hollywood Rock. That was arguably, to me, the best Rock. Like, I know he was mega over in 2000, and I know he's mega over 2001, but like 2003, when he came back with the shaved head and the slow theme and the vest, and he had that match against the Hurricane, that was the hands down best Rock ever. All right. And he was dope then. But now I just think he's too Hollywoodized. He's too Hollywoodized, and now he's coming back in his force. And everybody knows the deal. He came back and thought he was getting the biggest babyface pop ever. And when the minute they said this Roman Rock, Mania, everybody shit on that, and then they had the fucking audible and put Cody in there. So now he's like, well, I guess I got to be the bad guy, but he's mega cheesy at it, bro. Mega cheesy at it. Right?
I want to pose a question for you guys.
So with him being mega cheesy at it, he's got to throw in, "Oh, you ain't shit," or "You a bitch," or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? He's got to do that.
Do you think the discrepancy comes from the fact that Rock did go Hollywood? So when he does do things like sing the Rock concert, it's not really touching that nerve for Cody fans, so to speak? Because think about it, right? He's supposed to be the heel, and he's supposed to be talking shit about Cody. So
Right.
shouldn't the Cody fans be up in arms about this? And yet we're cheering, we're laughing, and it's like, what effect are we having, and where is the confusion happening as far as the story goes?
There's a lot
Yeah.
of confusion, all right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, bro.
I wouldn't know how to fix it. I'm just saying, like, that's.
I think Night Owl had a good point though there, that if they're gonna do it, make it the second hour. Make it the second hour. But
Timing,
listen,
baby.
Yep, timing. Exactly right. Exactly right. Well, listen, I know we got a lot more show to do. We got a great guest coming up tonight. I didn't even mention that, all right? Somebody that I personally been looking forward to. I know you've seen my shares on Facebook. I know you've seen my shares on Twitter. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best in the Midwest. Let me say that one more time. One of the best in the Midwest, straight out of the Harley Race Pro Wrestling Academy over there in Troy, Missouri. Our guest on episode 474 of the Wrestle Talk podcast, Moses the Deliverer. All right. He's going to be coming on here shortly. But I know we got some other business to attend to. Now, hold on. Before we do that, Gabe, I hit it the first go around. We got to thank some special people here, Gabe. And I think I need you to do the honors on this one. All right.
All right, I'd love to. So, the Wrestle Talk podcast would like to thank our great sponsors, including Royal Mills Transportation, head by one CEO, DeJuan Mills, Nobleman's Barber Lounge at Kansas City, Missouri, Kincaid Arcade at Oak Park Mall, Interstate 70 Sports Media, Little Popeye Designs, that's where you can get your Wrestle Talk podcast tumbler, and the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling group.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
If I may, so Gabe, I just need a minute here. If you wouldn't mind, we'll bring you back in just a moment with our other special guests during this segment. Sonny, I just want to say, from man to man, bro, I'm really proud of you and everything that you accomplished, bro. First of all, I want to compliment you on your photo lab. It looks fantastic.
Thanks, bro.
Josh, you got to give my man his credit. We have all gone from humble beginnings to actually starting to build towards credibility. Like everybody else, we've gone through our challenges. Sonny has done everything possible to be a great contributor to the Wrestle Talk podcast, and it truly shows, bro. I love your background and everything that you're starting to build, man. I love the fact that you've been able to join us more regularly, and what I'm really super excited about is that you and Gabe have been managing this thing, navigating this thing pretty much on your own the entirety of the show, bro. So I'm just super proud of y'all. I know it's a big leap. It's a long show, but y'all have absolutely been killing it. So on behalf of me and the rest of the team, man, just props to you guys for doing everything that you're doing, dog. Because I know it ain't I'm getting choked up. Sorry. I know it's not easy, man. We've been doing this for a long time, bro. Like 2 hours and 20 minutes times 474. That's like almost 1,000 hours of content, dog. And we've had some of the legends of the legends on here. And we've had guys that are just getting started maybe in the fantasy world or whatever. Eventually they'll transition into wrestling. We got, successful musicians, multiple successful musicians, including the gentleman that's going to be joining us here in about 30 seconds. Like, it is a proud thing to still be standing here with you, bro, on the Wrestle Talk podcast, bro, because I feel like we continue to get better, bro. Like, we're just getting started and we're almost 500 in. It's crazy, bro. It blows my mind. So I want to thank you and say that to you, man.
No, man, I appreciate that, bro. And listen, and give a little pat to myself on the back here, because I put in some work, you know what I mean? And it feels good to get recognized for that. So I appreciate it to you. But listen, dog, and I'm just dead honest. First and foremost, I wouldn't be able to do any of this without the support of everybody at Wrestle Talk Podcast. And that's you being the biggest, but also Flywalker, also John Hoss. And everybody who's came and gone in between. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. Big shout out to Gabe. I know he's came in. He's grabbed the bull by the horns this past 6 months to a year. You know what I mean? So everybody there, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now if it wasn't for the support of you guys. And then also a major shout out to everybody out there in the comment section. Everybody knows what's going on in my personal life for the most part. I put it out there publicly on Facebook. I lost my 15-year-old son last June, And really, since then, I've been trying to do everything in my power to be onward and upward. All right. And that's including work. That's including the home life. That's including the husband life. That's including the father life. But that's also including the Wrestle Talk podcast life. It's not just a hobby for me. I put a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of love into this. I set up all this behind me, particularly for this show. And I would love nothing more to see this show succeed from here on out. We at 474. Let's keep succeeding to 500. Let's keep succeeding to 1,000. All right. And by doing that, is all of you in the comment section tuning in every Tuesday night, and all of our fabulous sponsors and everybody who's hashtagging Let's Talk Wrestling. All right. And all these great guests that we bring on. It's one big family. It's one big giant wheel. So let's just keep that thing rolling. All right. So now, with that being said, folks,
Sonny, I got some business to handle, baby. I'm gonna bring you right back in a few.
Yep, I'm gonna go take
about to get real tense in here.
I'm gonna take 5. All right, Night Out.
You earned it, cuzzo.
Thank you, Pops.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. Pause. Where we are going to experience just a taste of the intensity that comes along with being a member of the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. I, for 10 years, have stood on the sideline and watched the legends become legends. Okay? From the CEO to Stitches. From Lucifer Fontaine to Theory. From Richard Burton to Vacant. From Nightmare Jones to Jimmy Kurt. From Gabriel Arsene to Remy Ricks. And so many in between. Saviors of Funk, the Lawman. I mean, it is an honor, truly, 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 to have watched the evolution of this promotion. And tonight, we are lucky enough to have one of the best up-and-coming, hottest prospects in the fantasy wrestling world, period. To another guy who may be rough around the edges to some, but brings an intensity, a passion, a vigor, and a nastiness that we love in professional wrestling. You look at guys like Vader or Suzuki or Mox. When I listen to this guy cut a promo with that big gold over his shoulder, that's the feeling that I get. And I'm going to let you guys experience these two men in the room together for just a couple of minutes. First, previously mentioned, your current FWWC Warriors Heart Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabriel Arsene.
Always good to see everybody here in the FWWC.
And on the other side of this exclusive broadcast and opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch him slanging weight, spitting bars, and knocking motherfuckers out, you dig? My voice is getting raspy just introducing this man. I swear I got my Jadakiss on. Ladies and gentlemen, KC, Missouri's very own Remy motherfucking Ricks, representing the one and only NFG. Ladies and gentlemen, Remy Ricks and Gabriel Arsene. Mr. Ricks, say hello to the people.
How's everybody doing out there in Wrestle Talk Podcast land? You know, just your FWWC World Heavyweight Champion here, doing what I do. I'm gonna try and do something a little different tonight, though. I'm gonna try and keep it clean for the Wrestle Talk family and all the children out there. I understand that this isn't strictly FWWC, so we're gonna try and keep it clean.
And here's what I'll ask. Let's try to do that. But by the end of this conversation, I do want people to see what you guys are really made of, because I'll be the first to say it. The FWWC is not for the faint of heart. So, Gabriel, I'll turn to you. How does it feel to be in a room with a man that is your equivalent? A guy that goes about his business in a different way that you do, but has found his way to the top of the mountain nonetheless. How does it feel to be in a room with a fellow champion like Remy Ricks?
I mean, I can't argue with the man's work ethic, quite frankly, because we are cut from a similar cloth. so to speak. So I can't not at least acknowledge the fact that he is a long reigning world heavyweight champion. But that's all about I'm going to acknowledge.
Okay, Remy Ricks, question for you. You've been in the FWWC for some time with, let's just say, a little bit of an up and down track. The last year or so, regardless of how hard people like El Mata had tried to push you to the side and alienate you from this company, you have found your way to the top and could now be considered one of the faces of the FWWC. Does that give you a sense of pride that you were able to kind of go against the grain and still get shit done?
Yeah, it does. Because I've been doing it my whole life. People, well, you ain't gonna do this, you ain't gonna do that. No, that's not how things are done. I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I've proved that with multiple title runs in the FWWC.
Now, I understand that both of you gentlemen are going into the biggest pay-per-view of the year, and I'm gonna be honest, the energy in this room changed. The moment that we brought both of y'all in here, the whole vibe of the podcast changes. That's what I wanted to do, because clearly, if this was your daddy's E-Fed or your granddaddy's E-Fed, we would just be chuckling and laughing and talking about our promos and how much fun this all is. But I don't feel that. I feel a certain amount of tension, and that's because both of y'all have potentially the biggest matches of your career in less than 2 weeks. Gabe, I'll throw this to you. I know you're looking at Remy, and that belt's beautiful, but your eyes should be focused on your opponent for Universe Mania 10. Are these beefs and these distractions that happen in the FWWC enough to distract you from the goal at hand, or are you 100% focused?
I couldn't be any more focused. If we're being completely honest here, Renee, I know everybody thinks that my mind, my eyes aren't on the ball or on the prize, but that couldn't be further from the truth. All right. It's all under control. Our scene handles things the way that our scene handles things. It may not go the way that everybody thinks it does, but it's my flow and the way that I style myself. Does that make sense?
Hey, it don't make sense. It makes dollars as far as I'm concerned. You're the one holding the gold. Remy Ricks, I'm going to ask you a similar but slightly distinct question. You have a battle against a man that got you fired. You guys have beat the crap out of each other. You've also managed to somehow find a way to coexist in a tag match. Not even sure how that happened. I know you're laser focused, and it's going to take hell in a handbasket to pry that big, beautiful piece of gold from over your shoulder. Are you able to stay focused on the biggest match of your career, despite some of the haters and naysayers that we were talking about before?
Look, man, at the end of the day, since I've been here since day one, I've had haters and naysayers the entire freaking way. And I've always stood tall. Whether I've won or I've lost, I've still outshined those who have hated. And when it comes to this match at Universe Mania, I don't think laser focused is the way to explain it.
Okay.
When it comes to this match at Universe Mania, this has been making for over 4 years now. Been here on and off around 4 years. First Universe Mania. Not only do I compete at Universe Mania, the FWWC Heavyweight Championship against somebody who in the past 2 years has become a giant fucking pain in my ass. Nonetheless, we've had to get along until Mania because that's apparently how the board of directors and the booker felt about this shit. So we made the most of it. We've taken over your commentary. We've taken over your cameraman. But at the end of the day, when that bell rings at Universe Mania 10, and this title right here, not my NFG title, not Ace's title, this title right here is held high above the ring, waiting for one of us to ascend the ladder and snatch it. And this is one of the matches going into at, yes, I'm going in as champ, but no matter how this match turns out, either man deserves to hold this title. But I'm not going to go in there shaking hands and kissing babies. I'm going to go in there and do what the fuck I do. And I'm going to go in there and hurt Ace until one of us grab this fucking title.
All right. Now, I do have to ask this question. I think this may bring up the tension here a little bit, but I think it's the right thing to do. Now, I know both of you guys go about your business differently, even though you may be cut from somewhat of the same cloth. Now, on the FWWC Tonight last Thursday, by the way, guys, every single Thursday, FWWC Tonight, hosted by the CEO. Occasionally, you also have a special guest host like we had last week with Remy Ricks and Ace and the rest of the gang that decided to join, which, by the way, that was an awesome episode. A lot of intensity, a lot of great conversation, and a lot of build-up to Universe Mania, which was fantastic. But I guess what I want to ask you guys is this. You guys have both been very critical of each other's way of doing things. I want you to make your statement. Let's consider this a bit of a debate. Why do you feel like your approach is the right approach to becoming successful in the FWWC? Because you both clearly have different philosophies when it comes to the world of professional wrestling. And in this situation, Remy Ricks, you're free to go first if you'd like.
To me, it's not more so the approach of how you do it. It's the fact that you take a certain approach while making a major fucking circle to wear a dress and sing in a promo and expect people to respect you. But at the end of the day, all I got to do, stand in front of a camera. Yes, I say a few curse words, smoke a little weed, drink a little drink. But at the end of the day, my point gets across, and my point gets across to anybody and everybody that it needs to. We didn't have to make a fucking Hollywood song and dance to make this title match at Universe Mania stand out.
Damn! Okay, Gabriel, affirm and stern as we have come to expect from our FWWC heavyweight champion. But what about you? What about your technique and your method to your madness?
Are you done? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. See, you guys can see my results here in the FWWC. Think about where Swag was before our little encounter on Monday night. I'm not through with you, Swag, by the way. Just want to clarify that for anybody who caught the match. This is far from over, because I'll be damned if you're going to be sitting there making a liar out of me. All right, because I'm putting you on the shelf. But I digress. Look at where he's at now. Look at everybody who steps to me and what comes out of it. I don't just elevate myself, I elevate the people around me, and as a result, I elevate the FWWC. Look at the House of Horrors after stepping to us. Look at the Haas Mafia after stepping to us. Look at where Swag is. This man was lost on the podcast, steps up to Gabriel Arsene. Where's he at now? The best run going so far today. Potential challenger for this championship. And I gotta say, I give a shit more about him. And that takes a lot to do for the Warriors Heart champion. So all I have to say, Renee, is my results speak for themselves.
You mean them results that took you holding Mata's hand and being handed the Warriors Heart title to get? Bet, gotcha.
No, I meant the results when I was in the FED squaring up against everybody who wanted to stand up to me. Having a match against Ace,
then you came back up
in Survivor Series, tag team matches, and everything that I needed.
Got him! Got him! Jeez Louise.
I know you're in your own world there, but there's more happening outside of that.
Okay, easy. To your corners, gentlemen. To your corners. I will, if you guys are willing, allow everybody to make a closing statement. It can be about what we were just discussing. It could be about the FWWC. It could be about your upcoming match. Make the time count, gentlemen. This is why you are at the top of the mountain in the world's premier fantasy wrestling promotion. So please, whatever message you want to deliver, this is the place to do it. Sir, you have center stage.
I'll tell you right now, since the podcast was brought up, anybody who's seen the podcast, hell yeah, I said all that shit about Arsene. I said, but at the end of the day, and motherfuckers can quote me on this, Who did I call winning that match? There can be the disdain, the distrust, the hate. Motherfucker, we ain't even got to look at each other, but at the end of the day, we have these. So, like I've told everybody once, and I'll say it again, I really hope you walk out of Mania with that title. But, with that besides, Ace, you have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get that ankle here. 2 weeks to get back on your motherfucking feet and do what needs to be done. 2 weeks to realize that that title that you are carrying around is not the FWWC Heavyweight Championship. And that's all I got to say.
I'll keep it short and sweet here. Anybody praying for my downfall, you're going to be on your knees forever. All my haters, you just fuel the fire that pushes me to burn as bright as I already do. You see, because if you got a problem with Gabriel Arsene, it's just because you're not me. So stay out of my way.
Woo, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the FWWC segment. For more information, please reach out to anybody associated with the Wrestle Talk podcast. Listen, there's a reason that it is the premier league in the world. So again, for more information, reach out to myself, to Dewan Mills, anybody on the Wrestle Talk podcast team, and we will get you plugged in. I will say this, and I'll bring back the actual host for this evening. Sonny, the FWWC is big. I know we've got Universe Mania, WrestleMania. We've got a fantastic guest just coming up in a couple of moments, bro. I got to thank you for this time because I'll tell you what, it's been 10 years, man, and I could not be prouder to be a part of the FWWC. As you can see, these guys clearly don't get along. They don't like each other. They probably would, try to cross the street to avoid each other if they were walking down the same road, okay? They just don't oil and water. But when it comes to being successful, they've got their own way, but it works, Sonny. And if it works, you got to keep pulling water from that well, baby. That's all I'm going to say. But thank you for letting me be here, Money. Real proud of everything you guys are doing, both here on the Wrestle Talk podcast and on the FWWC, bro.
No, man, hey, keep holding it on the ones and twos for me there, Night Out. Me and Gabe wouldn't be able to hold this thing down tonight if it wasn't for you, man. Listen, folks, as you guys just seen, and I hope you stay tuned in, that FWWC, boy, woo, boy, Universe Mania is heating up. I'm glad I'm not in the middle of them two, all right? Because I was a little trembling over there. These lights were shaking back here. But with that being said, all right, Night Owl, real quick, man, we good. I got them in the green room, green M&Ms, eye patch ready.
That's right, baby. Hey, that's right. The elite athlete, the deliverer himself, baby. He is ready to go. Beautiful. But before we do that, let's bring back Gabriel and let you guys continue moving this thing forward because we got about 2 minutes before we get into the interview, man. Great job by everybody, by the way.
No, absolutely, man. Yo, that heat was burning up. You all right over there, Gabe, bro? Yo. You back in the Wrestle Talk podcast mode, bro? You need some water? You need to cool down real quick cold shower? Y'all, we're about to kill each other, bro. Yo, Mike, brother. Mike. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Nah, beautiful. There you are, man. I know you had to cut that mic off real quick because you were probably about to say some words that weren't good for Monday Night Raw or whatever, but I know it's FWWC. It's a little bit different. So
all I can say is viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, man. So, hey, Gabe, and just kind of elaborate one more time. Night Owl spoke on it. I've spoke on it, bro. That's the best thing right there with the FWWC, right? Is you get two competitors, and obviously you're not in a professional wrestling ring, and that gentleman there is not in a professional wrestling ring, but you guys are bringing just as, if not more, entertaining stuff to the table as you would catch at a local independent wrestling show or something you would see on national TV, right?
Absolutely. This is I want to clarify though, not in a wrestling ring yet.
Yeah, there you go.
As soon as I fix this car, boy, you're gonna start seeing your boy looking around. But no, to build off what you were saying, Sonny, yeah, the FWWC, the world's premier fantasy wrestling page. We need people. We got plenty of opportunities here. You cut promos, we role play matches. We have lots of interactions. It's a great way to meet any kind of wrestling fan from every walk of life. You have an opportunity to compete for championships like this bad boy right here, as you can see.
Yeah, there
This
you
is
go. There it is.
right there. Nice and metal.
Yup.
This is all
Yup.
metallic. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
That
But
ain't
yeah,
no. Hey, just to clarify, Gabe, that ain't no Walmart belt, right? That ain't no
nah,
thrift
that
store
ain't no
belt, bro.
Walmart. That's all metal. That's all leather. That's all studded and
Yeah,
everything.
bro.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just the FWWC guys. Be sure to check it out and join. Shout out to El Diablo. Oh my God, this dude is the reason I'm in the main event.
Big shout out to El Diablo.
Dude, I used to have sunglasses. You can look back. I was on an episode of the Wrestle Talk podcast.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Well, listen, man, we've hit it pretty good tonight, man. We've hit our sponsors. We hit that anthem that my ears still might be bleeding a little bit from. We covered some great topics in the high spot segment. We've had what we have every single week on the Wrestle Talk podcast. One of my favorite things, even though I'm not an active participant, I was a part of it at one time, and I still show major love. And it's my favorite sponsor out of all the sponsors, and no shade to anybody else. But we had our FWWC segment. Now, Gabe, Arsene, it is time for the main event. All right. So, with that being said, this is a gentleman that I got to see personally wrestle in person and was floored. This is a gentleman, but even before that, I was following on social media. And one of the things that always stuck out to me to this guy is he brought it in the ring each and every single time I watched one of his matches. And I can't say that for about a lot of people. Because listen, I have dud days at work. My kids have dud days at school. But every time this dude steps in the ring, I've never seen a dud match out of this dude, bro. So I am uber, super duper excited. Like I would do a backflip right now if I was able to do it, but I got sciatica. Super duper excited for our guest here on episode 474 of the Wrestle Talk podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest this evening, he is the one, he is the only. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest this evening, Moses the Deliverer. Let's hear it from Moses the Deliverer, ladies and gentlemen. Give me that clap.
Daydream.
There you go. There you go. There you
Welcome to
go.
the show, brother. What's
You guys
up?
hear? You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. We hear you. You good, man. You good.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it.
Nah, man,
Absolutely,
Moses,
man.
bro.
It's our pleasure. We love to we love to see it.
Absolutely, Moses, man. Listen, man, we got to see each other at Fountain City Pro, and the minute I seen you were getting ready, and I don't like to bother anybody while they're getting ready. I'm sorry about that. So let me tell you that. I'm sorry, because I know you were getting ready. You had the iPads going, but I seen you. I had to run up to you and tell you, man, and for real, it's long overdue. We wanted to have you on Wrestle Talk podcast so bad. I couldn't think of a better episode than 474. So welcome to the show, my man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
No, absolutely, man. So before we get to the questions and all that, I just first and foremost, how are you? How's everything in Moses' Deliverer life? Everything good over there, bro?
I'm good. I'm actually reason I'm in the car right now. I just finished up working out. Had a long day today. Had to take care of some errands. All of this to get ready for this weekend. You know, it's a stacked weekend. Got Derby City Wrestling on Friday in Kentucky. And then we got WLW, United Champions 5, NWA versus WLW. So that's a big one going against Kerry Morton. We got that Saturday. And then Sunday, Dell Wrestling Show, which I'll be in the ladder match for that one to, you know, potentially win the briefcase and become the number one contender for any championship in the city. So we're just, you know, getting locked and loaded and getting ready to go.
There you go. There you go. And listen, you're hitting on some points here. I got some notes going. And Gabe, I'm sorry if I'm just excited here, and I don't want to, you know, I want to keep this thing
By all
rolling here.
means,
But
man, take
yeah,
the lead. I know you guys are close.
no, well, I mean, I've been lucky enough, Gabe. I'm sure one day Moses Deliver is going to be down there in Florida in your neck of the woods doing some things down there in front of you, Gabe. So if you ever see Moses
Please,
the Deliverer down there,
please.
you better go, bro, because if not, then me and you going to have a problem, all right? But Moses Deliver, as he just
Sunday
said, man,
Money finna hit me with a super kick.
I don't know if I could get the leg up that high, bro. 38's creeping up on me. I got the sciatica. I got the beer gut. That's Night Owl's fault. But listen, bro. So here's the deal. So Moses, you kind of already talked on some things here, and I got some notes written down. And please excuse me because I am so excited. But we're gonna kind of roller coaster this interview. All right. I'm not just gonna give you your standard this, that, and the other. We'll hit on that stuff. But that's something that I have written down that was intrigued me very, very, very much. So coming up, Night of Champions with WLW. March 23rd. It's going to be you against an up-and-comer whose father is part of the most legendary tag teams of all time, the Rock and Roll Express, the son of Ricky Morton, Kerry Morton versus Moses the Deliverer. Man, talk to me about that. That's a mega, mega match, Moses.
Oh, it's exciting. It's exciting. Actually, 7 months ago, NWA was here in St. Louis. They were at the Chase Park Plaza in the Corson Ballroom at NWA 75. And luckily enough for me, I was able to be at that event. And I got to, witness him along with a lot of the other people who were going to be a part of Team NWA. I got to see a lot of them live and in action. But I really paid attention to Kerry because it was something about his energy that I liked. It reminded me a lot of my own. But of course, we have a lot of big differences. One of those biggest ones being he's a second generation wrestler. I'm not. So, but that's not to take anything away from him. He still has to grind it out on his own. You know what I'm saying? He has to lace up his boots. He has to get in the ring. And at the end of the day, he has to fight for himself. His father can't help him do that. So that's why I'm really looking forward to this matchup and really, test him to see, if all the hype is real.
I just wanted to piggyback off of your question, Sonny, if you don't mind me.
Sure, go ahead, bro. Please jump in.
Well, I was able to catch some of your notes. I'm a little new to your work, Moses, but I was able to catch a little bit. He had mentioned you had matches with Matt Sydal. You said Dick Murdoch or Trevor Murdoch. Excuse me.
Yep.
Excuse me. I want to get them mixed up. And there was a Matt Sydal, Trevor Murdoch, and who was the other one? Sonny, I apologize.
That probably on there.
So
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to know who the last person was, but I wanted to ask you, Moses, out of those three or any other, notable names, who would you want to have a rematch with? Who do you think you would kind of test your mettle against a second time? Because I always think about, taking on Night Owl every now and then in the FWWC, sort of see if I've improved since the last time we squared up. I watch a lot of anime, so yeah.
That's a really thoughtful and deep question. I've never really thought about that. You get so caught up and you wrestle those guys and you're like, okay, we made it through. It's over. Now what's next? But you never really think about going back and wrestling them again. So it's actually a good one. So the third team, the one you're probably thinking of is the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yes, that's correct.
So, out of those three, it's hard. So I've wrestled Sydal twice already. So
really?
I wrestled him twice. One time was a tag team match. Again, it was Matt Sydal and Kenny Alfonso against myself and my tag partner Raheem De La Suede. And then the second time, it was a singles match. As a matter of fact, that's a match in which I won the WLW Junior Heavyweight Championship, which I was defending against Kerry Morton. But if I had to say another one to run it back with, probably have to say the Machine Guns. The Machine Guns, honestly.
I can't even blame you though, because I've been, especially with their work now, it's like they're hitting their peak. It's like we've seen them when they first started. Especially you, Sonny. I know you love the Motor City Machine Guns. I know you.
Listen, them early 2000s, bro. I was buying those 995 NWA TNA Wednesday night pay-per-views, and not only that, I was lucky enough to see Alex Shelley in Ring of Honor in some of them early days, bro. I think he was like opening match, dark match, or whatever. But I'm talking 2002, 2003, and I thought they were like at their peak then, like 2002, 3, 4, 5 against America's Most Wanted, against Beer Money, all that stuff they were doing in TNA. But for them to even come back and get back together a few years ago and to keep killing it, what they're doing, especially Alex Shelley. Moses, correct me if I'm wrong here. I believe even Alex Shelley was TNA heavyweight champion at one point, right?
He has all types of accolades. Both of those dudes are super, super talented guys. And
incredibly talented. I'm glad you picked them.
Yeah. That match was only close to a year ago where we got to main event the Grandel, and it was, again, myself and Raheem De La Suede, a.k.a. Technical Difficulties, against the Motor City Machine Guns. And even though it's only been a year, I still feel like we've leveled up our game even more to now, while I'm sure they still have some new tricks they pull out, we have some new ones as well. So that's definitely a test and a challenge that I definitely want to run it back.
Everybody in the St. Louis area already knows with Moses and technical difficulties, if I can say that 5 times fast, they already know what you about, bro. So with like Gabe, and not to discredit Gabe by no means, he knows Motor City because of the national level. But if Gabe was in St. Louis, bro, he knows that you and technical difficulties as a tag team are right there with Motor City, bro. You know what I mean? You guys ain't some curtain jerker opening match type of cats, bro. Y'all are out here putting on some 5-star. Dave Meltzer should be getting caught up on the phone with what you guys are doing over there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But listen, that's Motor. Listen, and I'm glad we touched it, but that's Motor City Machine Guns. We here for Moses to deliver. That's what I'm here for tonight. All right. So, but we put them over enough. I'm here to interview Moses, and I want to know more about Moses. All right. So we talked a little WLW, and again, Moses, excuse me, we're going to kind of roller coaster this interview, but there's another promotion that you're heavily involved in, a promotion that me and Renee the Night Owl Martinez have got in our truck and went from Kansas City all the way over to St. Louis to check out, and that's Glory Pro Wrestling, bro. Yep. And even today, this afternoon, as I was taking some notes about you in this interview and everything, I'm sitting here watching you in a ladder match, and I'm watching you springboard from the outside of the ring to the inside of the ring and jump up on the ladder. And I'm like, bro, this dude, man, you were doing some stuff out here that is just mind-boggling that we ain't seeing really. But overall in Glory Pro, talk to me about your experience in Glory Pro. Is that like a second home for you, third home? You know what I mean?
I love Glory. Yeah, Glory is definitely one of my main spots. They actually just had a tournament this past weekend. It was the Road Warrior Cup. It was a tag team tournament that I participated in, and again, my tag partner participated in it as well, but we weren't on the same team for this one. At Glory Pro, we beefed there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We don't see eye to eye there as much as we do in other spots. So
right.
Well, it's like the tag team name says, technical difficulties.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
exactly.
So we got into it there one time and split ways and kind of been doing our own thing, but we both participated in that tag tournament. And there were a lot of really, really good tag teams in that tournament. You had the new guys who were a young up-and-coming tag team. You had Violence is Forever. You had the Premier, which I know you know about that, KC, baby. You had the Premier in there. We had Raheem De La Suede and Mike Outlaw, myself and Ethan Price. I don't think I'm.
Yeah, there you go. There it is, right there. There it is.
Yeah, yep, there it is. Yeah, and that's the upcoming one. Those are the April show and the May show. So yeah, but that tournament, it was this past weekend, and it went really well. PME, that was the last team, PME. And actually the tag team champions, and they won that tournament. So shout out to them. You know, they're a super awesome tag team. They always go in there and do their thing. So, but yeah, it was amazing. Glory shows love. They show a lot of love.
Yo, Glory does it major, bro. But hey, listen, you said a name, and this has been kind of a little bit of intriguing for me because you've been teaming with, you've been doing technical difficulties, but I seen you recently tag teaming with a guy in KC who gets, when he comes over here, he maybe has a little bit different style. Maybe the KC fans don't like him as much, but I know he's beloved over there in St. Louis. And I seen you tag teaming with this guy, bro. Talk to me about you and Ethan Price teaming up. Like, what is that right now? That is something else for me.
It didn't always start off like that. Well, with me and EP, when we first started off, we were kind of beefing with each other for a while, we were thrown together as a tag team, and at first we were kind of like, I don't know if I can trust this guy. I don't know if I really like this guy. Then we were kind of butting heads a lot, and then we ended up having a singles match against each other, and then we kind of blew off a lot of steam there. But eventually, we put our differences aside and we came together and like, hey, you know what? You want to win. I want to win. Let's win together. Let's make something happen. And then from there, everything went well. We won the Glory Pro Tag Team Championships. We also, unfortunately, lost in the PME, which is, again, they're a really good tag team. So it's all love. But, hopefully we continue to do our thing, whether it's singles or tag. You know what I'm saying? EP's a solid guy, hard worker, and, the sky's the limit for both of us.
Well, I mean, he comes over to KC. He does some dirty antics over here at Central States Wrestling. So maybe it's just because he's away from home. Maybe it's because he's away from home. I don't know what it is, but he comes over to KC. He does some different stuff over here than what I see him doing in St. Louis. So maybe you need to holler at him and tell him Wrestle Talk Podcast, say, yo, quit doing that shit. Don't do it over here in KC. You keep that shit in St. Louis. I don't know, man. But Gabe, I see you throwing your hand up there, bro. You got a
Yeah, I just wanted to throw him a question if I'm able to.
Sure,
So
please
you
go ahead,
mentioned
man.
that you mentioned Glory Pro, you mentioned WLW.
Mhm.
I gotta ask you, is there any promotion you would want or potentially see yourself in the future? And if so, is there anybody in that promotion that you could see yourself feuding with? Like, is there any names like that you're trying to take?
Talk, independent promotions or like the top
little
pro.
bit of little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Okay, okay, got you. As far as independent promotions go, DPW Deadlock Pro Wrestling, I see them doing a lot of awesome things. Yeah, they're killing the game right now. They're selling out their shows. They're bringing in a lot of awesome guys, and
Support your
honestly,
local federations.
Danger would be a cool guy to wrestle on there, honestly. And it's surprising because they brought in all types of different names. But Chris Danger, a guy who started off doing YouTube, doing this thing, he's somebody that I watched as a kid, you know what I'm saying? Watching his YouTube series and watching his WWE 2K videos. So it'd be kind of cool to step in the ring with him in real life. And, because he's been doing this thing down there too. He's been getting in the ring and, working hard and working at his craft. So I think it'd be pretty fun to go against him. And then, as far as the big companies go, WWE, AEW, New Japan, TNA, all of them. I just want the best. I want the champion. You know what I'm saying? Whoever the
That's what's up.
champion, main event
Yeah.
spotlight, big time match. The lights are bright, the moment's big, but that's when I perform my best. You know what I'm saying? When I say always ready to deliver, that's what I mean. There's no scenario that catches me off guard. There's pressure. I don't worry about pressure because pressure creates diamonds. So that's what I like. I like when all the pressure's on me. I like when the lights are shining down bright. I like when the fans are cheering loud. That main event spotlight. I love that feeling. So whoever's
That's
in
what gets the blood pumping. That's the reason you do them training on Tuesday nights before you come join us on Wrestle Talk. That right there,
right,
bro.
right.
The second you step through the curtain, man. Listen, I was lucky enough to do it for a little while. Then I realized, yeah, I should have been on the other side of the guardrail. But I know what that I can at least say I know that experience from
Mhm.
stepping in whatever that arena is that night, bro. And yeah, and that's pressure for sure. 100% that's pressure, bro, because you can't go out there and fuck that up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, that feeling the second to none, that adrenaline you get, when all eyes are on you, you know what I'm saying? And it's your moment. Now, it's either put up or shut up, But me, I choose to shine each and every single time because that's, it is what it is. That's what I go out there and that's my goal.
Yep, yep. Hey, Night Owl, do me a favor. Throw that throw that. Yeah, there you go. So, real quick, somebody in the comment section there, Moses. AJ Wallace, definitely a part of the show here, part of the Wrestle Talk
What's up?
podcast family.
Shout out to you.
He says, I remember when Moses and his partners got ran over by Braun Strowman on the segment on SmackDown in St. Louis. Can you tell us what it was like facing him? You weren't really facing him. I know that was kind of a part-time gig for you. I know you out here kicking heads in the independent wrestling community, but I know you did a little side work there, and you unfortunately ran into the big bad Braun Strowman. What was that like, bro?
That was crazy. That was crazy. Just the whole experience was pretty cool because you walk out that curtain and then you're there. You see all the fans. You know what I'm saying? You hear all the cheering. Like I said, those bright lights, those big moments. All the cameras on you. So it was a surreal experience for sure. But Braun Strowman, he's a big dude. I know that's a question I get asked pretty often. They're like, how big is he in real life? Is he really that big? Yes. To answer the question, he's that big. But no, it was fun to say the least. It definitely hurt. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, I would love to do it again and really get a one-on-one with him if I could.
Bro, I pop every time, and this is kind of real shoe backstage, whatever. But I don't care because we do both here on Wrestle Talk podcast. But in all dead ass serious, 100%, I pop when I see local guys, even as an extra, as a security guard, get to go over to SmackDown, get to go on AEW, get to have dark matches on AEW, and that's the guys. When WWE comes to town, AEW comes to town, the Big Show comes to town. They're taking the hardest working talent. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're taking the talent that comes in. They put their time in the gym. They put their time in their promos. They put their time in their craft. And that's who WWE brings in, even if it's for a segment or even you're hanging out backstage or catering. It's saying something. You know what I mean? So for you to even have that opportunity shows right there that you're putting in the work and you're doing the thing here. Now, Gabe, before I pass it off to you, because I know you're going to have another question, I'm going to hit you, Moses. All right, I'm going to hit you with the $1 million question here. I know this is something that everybody wants to know. When they go to Moses Deliverer's Facebook page, Twitter page, YouTube, so on and so forth, on the day of a wrestling show, they always see the selfie with the eye tape.
That's right.
Bro, where in the world did you come up with that? And I'm so happy you did because that's uber original, bro. Ain't nobody else out here doing that. I see you doing that. So talk to me about the half a face selfie with the eye tape, and on the eye tape you always have something related to either the show or a current event or so on and so forth. Where'd you come up with the eye tape, bro? Talk to me about that.
Honestly, so when I first started doing a version of the eye tape, it was at the first ever Black Wrestlers Matter show when again myself and my tag partner Raheem De La Suede, we went against Alpha and Omega at the time, Camaro Jackson and Kenny Alfonso, and we were still trying to figure out who exactly technical difficulties was, like who we want to be, how do we want to present ourselves. So we kind of did like the Band-Aid thing that Nelly used to wear.
Yeah.
We did that, and then we liked it, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna take it a step further. So I was like, let me try this eye tape. And then I was just, online looking through some stuff, and I saw eye tape that came with a pencil, a white pencil that you could write your own messages on. And originally I was like, okay, I can just write the same thing every single time on this eye tape. That's what I was going to do originally. I was going to just write, I don't know, maybe my name or nickname, something every time, just a little extra accessory. But I can't remember what specific show it was, but I decided one day, I was like, okay, let me write something related to the show here. And again, when I first started writing messages related to the show, I didn't even post it. It was just, I would write it. The only people that saw it were the people who were there. But then one day I was like, you know what, if I'm doing this, I'm going through the work. Because sometimes it can be kind of hard too, writing some of those long words there. She's like, oh, I got to squeeze it in there and got to really make sure, I get the right spot. So I thought, if I'm going through all this work to do it, why not post it on social media and let everybody else see it? And again, give more publicity to the show and, just be fun for everybody.
I'm telling you, Gabe, I seriously, bro, I swear to you on my children, anytime a Saturday rolls around and I'm looking and I'm flipping through Facebook at the crib and I know independent wrestling is coming, I swear to God, I really look forward to seeing Moses and that eye tape. Anytime I know a pro wrestling show is popping on the Midwest, whether it's WLW, Glory Pro, Fountain City, whatever, I always looking for that eye tape because I know someone's about to get it that night. That eye tape's on. Yeah, someone's about.
That means a lot. Sometimes you question whether what you're doing is it working, or people paying attention, do people notice it, or is it just something they just scroll past? So I really appreciate that.
That's a shoot, bro. That's an honest to God shoot, man. As much as I
Validation.
love independent pro wrestling, as much as I love independent pro wrestling all around the country, I love it even more where I live. And like I said, listen, here's the deal, Moses. I moved out here in the early 2000s from Philly, bro. So when I moved out here, especially in the KC area, there was really independent pro wrestling was really non-existent. So from the year 2000 to now 2024, what pro wrestling is, the 3, 4, 5 promotions here in KC, and I don't know how many promotions over there on St. Louis and dipping into the Illinois side is crazy, man. So for someone to put in that work, man, you know what I mean? It's very, 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 very much recognized. But Gabe, I got a couple more here, bro, but I know I don't want to leave you out. So go ahead, man.
I appreciate it. So I actually, again, to build off of the question that you were talking about, I wanted to say, first of all, Moses, I love your look. Looks fantastic. It's a unique footprint, and that gets you somewhere here in the FWWC, in the world of pro wrestling. But I see you wear singlets, so I have to ask, were you inspired by any wrestler who wore singlets, or do you have any like background in collegiate wrestling, NCAA, anything like that? And if so, could you elaborate?
It's funny. So a lot of times when people ask me about the singlet, so to answer your question, yes, I do have a background in amateur wrestling. I was an amateur wrestler in high school. Well, I started in Little League about 4th grade, wrestled a couple of years, stopped for a couple of years, and then got back into it in high school. So yes, I do have an amateur wrestling background, but that's part of the reason I wear it, but not necessarily the full reason. Honestly, one of the reasons I wear it is because of Rob Van Dam. I always like, look, he's an awesome wrestler, amazing wrestler, phenomenal matches. But it wasn't even necessarily the matches that's the reason I went to it. The singlets, they looked cool. You know what I'm saying? He had the airbrush on there, all those cool, really cool designs. So that
if I get an airbrush, can I airbrush your singlet?
Of course. On right now, sir. I remember being younger and I would just put whenever I create my wrestler on, whatever WWE video game it was, I would always put a singlet on. So I was like, you know what? RVD wears one. That's pretty cool. Makes his look cool. So I would try to make him look somewhat like his. I didn't do the best of that, being 11 years old, trying to make it look exactly like his. But yeah, that's part of the reason. So the amateur wrestling and Rob Van Dam as well. That's two of the reasons I wear the singlet.
Can I admit I'm glad that it's mainly because RVD is your favorite wrestler. Like
Yeah.
it's cool to have the collegiate background. It's like, oh, okay, cool. He's like good at wrestling, but just the fact that you're like, nah, man, RVD. That's the answer I like to hear.
A lot of people assume like, oh, because you're amateur wrestler. I'm like, no, that's not really why. Like I'm used to wearing it. You know, I've worn it a good portion of my life, so I was comfortable wearing it. But that's not necessarily why I decided to wear it. You know.
I'll give you guys a little backstage deal here. I will not say who, but a host of Wrestle Talk podcast, and there's a bunch of us here. A host of Wrestle Talk podcast had the pleasure of partaking in a little 420 with Mr. Rob Van Dam himself.
Oh,
All right, so to put that up there, that'd be like drinking a beer with Stone Cold or
yeah,
drinking a glass of milk with Kurt Angle. To
yeah.
partake in a little bit of the greenery with RVD, bro. I'm still jealous of him. He knows who he is, and I wish I was there. I should have been there. It was here in KC too, you know what I
Oh,
mean? But listen, so here's another one, little known fact. Moses just celebrated a birthday on 310.
yeah.
Oh shit. Yo, happy late birthday from the Wrestle
Happy
Talk
belated
podcast, man.
birthday, yo.
I appreciate that. They appreciate that.
Yeah, man. You always yo, listen, I know most adults, especially around my age, late 30s, they're like, I don't care about my birthday. Bro, I make it popping on my birthday every
Yeah.
year. Like I make my birthday an event. For me to have every year that I get on God's green earth, I make it a spectacular. I mean,
No, it's
I aim to misbehave.
I know a lot
yeah,
of people, when they get a certain age, like, oh, I don't want to celebrate my birthday. Oh, I'm 1 year old. I'm getting older. I always look at it like this: would you rather be 1 year older, or would you rather be dead? You know what I'm
right.
There
saying?
you go. That's
Exactly.
it. That's
Yeah,
it.
on my birthday. On my birthday, I'm walking around telling everybody, yo, it's my birthday. You better acknowledge me, bro. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
The
I
blessing.
just
All
want
right,
to point out. I
so
just wanted to point out something that Renee had here in the comments back here. He wanted to say, "Not on the list. I've already smoked with Godfather."
That's
there you
So,
go. Yep.
see my list. It's Matt Riddle, and he's coming to MLW here in Tampa. So, like,
nice.
cross your fingers, dog. Cause
So, so 16-year-old little Sonny Money Mayo had the opportunity at 16 to smoke a joint with Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and we were in a motel in the suburbs of Philly, and the motel we were in, my man lit up the joint right in the room, and the motel we were in, you could sit on the bed and touch the ceiling. That's how short the ceiling was. So as
Wow.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, he had this joint, he sparked it up, and he's sitting there hitting it, and right above him was the fire detector. And the fire detector started going off, and my man, cool as day, in the middle of puffing that joint, just said, "Bam!" Punched that thing right through the ceiling, bro. So that's my little 5 minutes of fame right there with
Nice, bro.
with smoking. But listen, so Moses, this is something that I want to ask you about. I don't know how much information you can give us, okay? And that's okay if you can't give us any, but I hope you're able to give me a little tidbit. I've been seeing this being shared on social media. What is and what's going on? And tell me about Slam Jam STL. What's up with that, bro? Can you give me anything here? Or?
If I can give you, let's see how much I can give you.
Yeah. Give us the exclusive, bro. It's the exclusive Wrestle Talk podcast. Don't get in trouble. But give us something.
I'm gonna tell you guys, stay tuned to some upcoming shows in the St. Louis area, possibly when it gets a little warmer this year, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, my man.
You know, those warm months when they start rolling around, just keep your eye out for some new shows that might pop up.
Yeah, man, because I seen that now that intrigued me, and I'm like, it's just like coming soon. Well, I'm like, all right, well, I know Moses is on. I actually believe I seen you even share it on your page, so I figured I asked. There it is, right there, Slam Jam STL, Slam Jam St. Louis.
Screenshot that logo on your mind. You know, we're gonna do something different, real different with pro wrestling in the scene. So I'm looking forward to
that might make me even make the trip, that 4-hour trip down I-70 over to St. Louis, bro.
Does everybody have a smoking with a wrestler story but me? Shit, I am not leaving that MLW event. I'm sorry to do this in the middle of the podcast, but we sent an email out to them. Give me a ticket, guys. I'm ready for this. Get Gabriel Arsene in MLW. And if not, I'm buying my ticket and I'm telling everybody my Matt Riddle story because I'm not coming back without it.
Yes, sir.
All right, Well, listen. Again, this is kind of the roller coaster interview here, and I like it that way. I don't like starting it off going, "Oh, tell me about the origins and all that." I like it all over the place. All right, but we are gonna. I want to get to the origins here of Moses the Deliverer. All right. So you were talking about being a fan as a kid, and so this is kind of a two-parter. Who in wrestling, and not necessarily WWE, might be WWE, but who in wrestling inspired you to say, "Hey, this is something I want to do"? And two, what made it possible for you to go over to the Harley Race Pro Wrestling Academy and train there and get where you're at?
Yeah. So no, it was guys like Kurt Angle and John Cena and Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Eddie Guerrero. A lot of those favorites coming up for me. Just seeing them, and then for me, it wasn't even necessarily about the matches. It was just about the atmosphere. The entrances, the pyro and the lights. And everything. All of it combined just always intrigued me as a kid. Some of my earliest memories honestly, before even watching it on screen, was like toys and action figures and getting super hooked on those. And then there were some people where I had their action figures years before I'd ever even seen them wrestle. So it was a lot of that for me. And so a lot of those guys were very inspirational. And of course, when you're younger, you always say, when I grow up, I want to be a pro wrestler. That's something I want to do. And I went back and forth with that my entire life. At points, I wanted to be a pro wrestler. At points, I wanted to do this. Points, I wanted to do that. But as I got later on in high school, about junior, senior year, that's when I started thinking, I'm like, man, like this is something I really, really actually want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like really actually want to do. So it was senior year. I had just wrapped up my final year of amateur wrestling in high school. And it didn't end the way I wanted it to. So I was kind of left there with the question. I'm like, okay, do I want to continue this in college or do I want to potentially go pursue professional wrestling? And I was kind of juggling between those two for a while, for a few weeks. But I'd hopped online and I just looked up, I was like, some of the best pro wrestling schools in the world. I just looked it up, best pro wrestling schools in the world, most notable ones. I was scrolling through the list and I saw the Harley Race Wrestling Academy on there. And I had heard Harley Race's name. I knew who he was. I didn't know any and everything about him, but I knew he was a legend in the business. So I was like, oh, wow, look at that. And I kept scrolling. I saw Troy, Missouri. I was like, wait a minute. Troy, Missouri, that's like 30 minutes away from where I live. And I started, looking into details and finding out more about it. And I was like, wow, this place is here locally. And then I checked the prices and I was like, oh man, like high school kid, I don't have all that money, you know what I'm saying? To, just throw at it, all at one time. Because again, I'm still in high school at this point. I have I think 2 or 3 months left till I graduate. But then, and man, I really feel like God makes everything work out for you in your favor because conveniently enough for me, like a week later, I saw a flyer for the Harley Race Wrestling Academy for a free month of training, like a free training trial month. And I'm like, okay, this is it. Like this has to, you know what I'm saying? Like all this is happening at the same time. Like this has to be, my answer. So I go do that. I go do the free month. And on day number 1, there was like between 15 and 17 people there. And all the way up until the last day, there's 2 people left. 2 people. So in between that time span, a lot of guys fell off, quit, because, pro wrestling, it's hard. It's not easy. I'm not gonna lie. It's not easy. So a lot of people,
It ain't easy.
I don't even want to call them quitters. They just realize it's not for them. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. So a lot of people, phased it out, walked away. And by the last day, there's only 2 people left. And one of them was, of course, myself. And the other one, to no surprise, is my tag team partner, Raheem De La Suede. We're the last 2 left. And from there, we started training full time and, never looked back.
That's dope, bro. And you know what? And a lot of that speaks to me, man, because listen, again, I came out here from Philly in the early 2000s. And when I came out here, the only thing that looked like pro wrestling in the KC area was actually up in St. Joe, Missouri, about an hour north of KC. And now we talking young Derek Stone, a young Craig Kiesman as Crow, a young Jeremy Wyatt. All right. So I had about 3 or 4 matches. I remember I tried to put Jeremy Wyatt in the Texas Cloverleaf and fucked it up. And it was really after that show and that match that I was like, listen, man, I can't put into this what it deserves. All right. Even as a young kid, I knew that. I was like, this deserves a lot more of my time and attention. This ain't just a hobby, and this ain't just create a wrestler on SmackDown versus Raw. I'm gonna hurt somebody or I'm gonna hurt myself. The business deserves more respect for that. Let me step back. You know what I mean? And again, just like you said, it ain't for everybody, and that's okay. But for the people who it is for, and they're doing their grind, keep doing your grind, just like Moses
They
delivered.
feel
And Wrestle Talk
different.
podcast. Wrestle Talk podcast will definitely highlight you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So hey, real quick, Moses. We actually got a question here from the Night Owl. From Renee Martinez right there. He's got a question for you. Says, love to ask Moses a question.
Mhm.
How has faith played a part in your journey? And why is it important to you to be out front with it with your faith?
Yeah, no, it's very important for me. Because it's carried me this far, you know what I'm saying? It's something that is always special to me and something I always hold close to me, you know. As important wrestling is to me, it's not the number one thing in my life. You know, God is always the number one thing in my life, you know, because without him, none of this is possible. I wouldn't be able to step foot in the ring and do what I'm able to do. So I always give him thanks before every single match. I always make sure to pray, you know, ask for protection for me and my opponents and, you know, for everybody involved in this show. So yeah, it's very, very important for me. And it's helped me along the journey, just kept me grounded, kept me level-headed, kept me humble, and, you know, just allow me to be the best that I can possibly be with, you know, the talents that I've been given.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. I don't know about anybody else. I'm gonna speak for myself. I pray multiple times a day. The minute my eyes open up in the morning, that's the first thing. It's not reach for my phone. It's not, oh, it's another day. I pray, man. I pray. Thank you, Lord, for giving me another day. You know what I mean? So I got one more question, but before I hit that and before we kind of start wrapping this thing up, I'm gonna pass it to Gabe. Gabe, what you got from my man Moses the Deliverer over here, bro?
Well, I want to thank Renee for the layup. You guys have been helping me out because I had these questions written down, but I'm able to ease into them a little bit. So,
Yep.
Moses, obviously your moniker is the deliverer. So I guess I just wanted to ask where did you come up with that? I mean, and why what made you decide, the deliverer? Because I do like the ring of that, but what made it click in your mind, I guess?
So originally, before I even started doing shows, I was trying to figure out like what name did I want to be, you know, because I had like names that, you know, I had from being a kid and, you know, creator wrestler and this, that, and the other. But I was trying to figure out like, okay, now it's real, you know what I'm saying? Now I have to be serious about it. So I gotta think of a name. And I wanted something unique, you know what I'm saying? I wanted something different. And I mean, my dad who named me, of course my mom had to agree, but my dad who named me, he was the one who, you know, said, hey, you should go by your name, Moses, and the nickname, the Deliverer, because in the Bible, that was Moses' nickname, was the Deliverer. And at first I was like, you know, I kind of want to be something cool, like, I don't know, MP1 or something like, you know, something cool. Again, kind of try to rip off RVD in a way.
Exactly.
Then I really sat back and I thought about it. I was like, you know, that is something different. That's, you know, it's a different nickname. You don't really come across a lot of people named Moses. Not even just in professional wrestling and life in general. I've only met one other one personally, ever. One.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
and his was spelled a little different too. So that's kind of what made me go with that as a name. And then I was thinking on ways to expand it, you know what I'm saying, to expand my character. And then that's when I came across the moniker Always Ready to Deliver, you know, because that's, as much as it's a part of my character, it's the truth, you know what I'm saying? There's been times where I've been put in situations
Put it
where,
on a shirt.
man, hey, coming soon. You heard it first. But there's been times where I, you know, right before a show, I wouldn't even be prepared, didn't have my stuff with her, you know. Somebody, hey, can you hop in there? Can you wrestle? Can you do this? You know what I'm saying? So I really believe no matter what position I'm put in, I'm always ready to deliver. You can put me in the first match, you put me in the last match, put me in the middle. It could be a ladder match, cage match, singles match, submission, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna show up, show out, and leave no doubt.
See, and that's why I go by Sunny Money, bro. Because listen, I ain't rich, you know what I mean? But they call me because my shoot middle name is Sunny, and I get called Sunny Money because I am money every time. Now, I make mistakes, I mess up, but listen, I give you everything I got 100% of the time. Whether it's here on Wrestle Talk Podcast, whether it's being a father to my 3 beautiful sons, whether it's being a husband to my beautiful wife, whether it's being a friend, but especially at work too, the money maker. I'm money, bro. You know what I mean? I know how to do 4 or 5 jobs. I'm not trying to put myself on the back and put myself over. My moniker, it's not just Sunny Money because I got money in my pocket. It's because I'm bringing the money. I'm bringing it 100% each and every time. And I know that's what you do too, as Moses the Deliverer, bro. You bring it each and every time 100%. So Moses, check me out, bro. I got one more question. We're going to hit what we hit with our guest, and that is the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. All right. And after the Game Show Challenge, we're going to close it out. I'm going to have you hit your socials and all that, parting words, so on and so forth. Does that sound good, bro?
Sure, let's get it.
All right, man. So my last question here, as you were getting ready for your match, okay?
Mhm.
And actually, let me kind of preface this. I grew up a big music fan. I'm still a music guy. Music is my soundtrack to life. I love all music, but I grew up a hip hop head, okay?
Sure.
When you are in the back getting ready, what is in your headphones to get you ready to go out and be Moses the Deliverer? What is bumping in your headphones right now, or your favorite, or your go-to, or whatever? What's bumping in them headphones, man?
It depends. It really depends because, you know, in my playlist, in my gym playlist, which is really just my favorite songs,
All right.
and then my main playlist, I'll have anything in there from, you know, rap, you know, R&B, old school music, gospel, country, you know, pretty much any and everything. So I'll just put that on shuffle, and whatever I'm feeling, if I'm feeling it, you know what I'm saying, I'm feeling it. But a lot of the times, J. Cole gets me hyped a lot.
There you go.
You know, J. Cole and Drake actually was, you know, fortunate enough to be at their concert in St. Louis a few weeks ago. You know, they're on tour together, so I was there, and it was mind blowing. That's a whole nother story within its, you know, within itself. J. Cole and Drake are definitely some guys that I bump a lot before my matches.
There you go, man. And listen, I'm kind of listen, one day I'm bumping Anita Baker and bumping SOS Band and bumping Johnny Gill. And the next day I'm bumping The Doors and Led Zeppelin. And the next day I'm bumping Sinatra and Tupac. And I do everything in between. I don't touch country music. I think that's just the East Coast in me. My wife loves it. I got to put earplugs in when she's playing it. God bless her. But music is the soundtrack to life. So I always like to know, especially with professional wrestlers, what they're using to get hyped up. You know what I mean? So I'm glad to hear that though, yo. And I know that J. Cole and that Drake concert was dope. I know that was dope because they were here right in Kansas City either before or after. And I had a couple of friends that went and they said, yo, phenomenal show. Drake still got the hunger, even though he's got all the followers and all the money in the world. Drake still got the hunger. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah, that's super dope. All right, man. All right, so here we go. I'm not a professional wrestler. I'm not getting in the ring, okay? But you are now in my arena, all right? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge, all right? Now, Gabe, you want to take this one, or you want me to take on Moses? Because it's up in the air right now.
I gotta take the opportunity, Sonny. I gotta see it just for the chance.
I'm perfectly A-okay with that. All I gotta say is this.
Shots fired!
Listen, all I gotta say is this, all right? I win because I'm the best. Anytime I lost, it was because I got cheated. Like, I think maybe Ethan Price has something to do with it. I don't know. But every time I lost the rest of the time, just like Sheiky Baby, bro. Fucking bullshit, all right? Them losses didn't count. That shit shouldn't be on my record. There should be an asterisk next to that shit, just like Barry Bonds shit, all right? So, but you're lucky you're not going against me, Moses the Deliverer, because you'll be catching the L on Wrestle Talk Podcast. So I'm going to pass it to my boy, Gabe Arsene. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. Night Out, if you wouldn't mind helping me out here on the ones and twos, my man. You know I'm a little limited. That's it. That's the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge here, folks. And to my left here, we got the the other way. There you go. No, wait, that way. There it is. The Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. And in this corner over here, he is the co-host of episode 474 of the Wrestle Talk Podcast, coming from the Sunshine State of Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, Gabe Arsene. And on this side, hailing from St. Louis, Missouri, our guest here on episode 474 of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Moses the Deliverer.
Perfect.
All right, Night Owl. Now, here's the deal, Night Owl. I know you in the background, bro, so I need you to come on camera if you can, because I'm having a little technical difficulties, and don't copyright me on that there, Moses. All right? I don't mean it that type of way. But we do have the questions. I'm not, unfortunately, able to see them here at the second, so maybe Night Owl can kind of step in, Gabe, unless you got them, but you can't say them out because you are in the game show. So, Night Owl, you with me here, bro? There he is. Beautiful, beautiful.
What's going on? What's going on?
Coming to save the day. Coming to save the day. Well, we wouldn't be able to do this without you, Night Owl. I'm not putting you over, but I'm putting you over, all right?
No doubt about it. And I really had to fight the urge to like veto this lineup. And I'm like, nah, I want to interview Moses, bro, because from Nelson to Will to you guys to Mike. I know we probably never even said hello, but I've been a fan of yours since you joined WLW. I've been following them for a long time, and everything Outlaw and those boys do, man. I just
shout out to Mike too while you had it. Unfortunately,
yes.
Big shout out to Mike Outlaw, bro. Let's always love with Mike Outlaw. Always love with Mike Outlaw.
Quad at the last show at Glory Pro this past Sunday. He ruptured his quad, so an unfortunate injury. He'll be out like 4 to 6 months. So wishing him the best for recovery. Speedy recovery.
Big shout out to you, Outlaw. Hey, man. Yo, Outlaw, if you get on, I know you're not too big on the socials, bro, but drop some merch, bro. Can we buy some merch? Do something to help out Outlaw. You know what I mean?
For real. Medical bill. I'm with that plan.
Yep. I'll buy a couple t-shirts off you, a couple pins, couple whatever to support Outlaw, bro. It's always love with Mike Outlaw.
No doubt about it. So, and Sonny, by the way, that wasn't on you, bro. The questions and stuff for you be able to see them. So don't take that too harshly. And you've done a fantastic job. But that being said, let's get all the politeness and all the camaraderie and let's get some competition going here. So here's what you're going to serve, Sonny. You're going to serve as a judge. If these guys come in close or like they answer at the exact same time, it's going to be up to Sonny Money because I know you're a fan of both of these guys. Okay, I want you to call it down the middle if we end up having some sort of tie or something. Okay.
Just like Bill Alfonso, baby, right down the middle. I wish I had my whistle right now.
So is it like the wrestling trivia?
Yes.
So
okay.
Yes. Yeah. Go. You want to go ahead and explain it, Sonny, and then I'll take care of reading the questions. Go ahead, bro.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So this is how it works, Moses. Deliver on the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge. We're gonna have the best of 3 questions. You got to answer 2 out of 3. Okay. Night Owl is going to read them off. When you think you know the answer, just say it, bro. You don't have to wait to the end of the question. You don't have to raise your hand or nothing. He's going to start reading off this question, all right? The second you think you know what it is, just say the answer, all right?
Interruptions are encouraged.
Yes.
Right. Gabe, listen. My wrestling trivia isn't the best. So if you don't win this,
you're slacking.
You know what I'm saying?
You're slacking, dog.
And everything the haters say will be true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Remy Ricks would have been right because he was all over you earlier.
Yeah, all over him in the FWWC, all right? So, with that being said, Gabe Arsene above me, are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready to go.
That don't sound too confident, but I'm going to take it. Moses the Deliverer, are you ready for the Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge, bro?
Always ready to deliver, baby. Let's get it.
Let's get it. All right, Night Owl.
All right, here we go. So, you guys will enjoy this. I think the topic is awesome. It says, in honor of tonight's special guest, our Wrestle Talk Podcast Game Show Challenge category is NWA Champions. Ooh, okay. In a moment, I will provide you guys information referring to 3 professional wrestlers that held championships in the NWA, also known as the National Wrestling Alliance. When you think you know the answer, simply shout it out. The first to score 2 out of 3 falls will be tonight's winner. Do you gentlemen understand the rules?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get right into it, baby, because Moses is probably tired. He's had a long day. All right, question number 1. This late WWE and WCW Hall of Famer has had the longest NWA World Championship reign at a recognized 2,300 days. He is in countless professional wrestling Hall of Fames. He has competed for 50 years, competing in his last match in 1990 against Masa Chono, which was his student. He also is a former president of the Cauliflower Alley Club and has been called the organizer of Hate, STF submission hold, and the press popularized by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Please name him.
Luthez.
Luthez is correct. One fall to Gabriel Arsen, our FWWC Warriors Heart champion.
It took me a sec. As soon as you said a Stone Cold move, I was like, wait, what does he do? And I was like, oh,
That's
press.
what it took you.
Luthez.
That's what it took
Luthez
you.
press. He's like 14 years old. Leave him alone.
I didn't want to say the wrong answer and have everybody judge me.
Ain't nobody judging you, bro.
That's
Florida,
like-
you lucky I ain't down there in Florida.
Moses is not liking this at all. Can you two hens quit squawking so I can get to question number 2, please? Sonny, what happened to the unbiased thing? Clearly you're a Moses fan. It's obvious.
I'm just
What
saying,
happened,
bro.
You a mark, bro. All right, quit. I'm just playing. All right, question number 2. This former NWA world champion held the shortest officially recognized reign at 119 days. He has held a championship. He has also held championships in WWE, Game Changer Wrestling, Impact Wrestling. Woo. Please name him.
Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder is correct.
Yeah, but
AKA Matt Carter.
Hey, if he said anything besides Zack Ryder after woo woo woo, I would have just ended the pod.
It's over.
No,
That's a wrap. Okay. Can we feel the tension?
Somebody else, because I know some people who had like 3-day long reigns, but then when you said like the shortest officially recognized,
Yeah,
it gets
it threw the wrench in there because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, who is the shortest officially recognized?
Super duper cool story for Moses. I think he'll appreciate this. Leland versus Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
Were you there for that?
I was. So one thing, a part of the training in WLW at the Harley Race Wrestling Academy, they will train them to be ring seconds as well. So I know they do it a lot in the Japanese wrestling culture. You know, the guys who have around the ring, knelt down, you know, after the match, they'll, you know, roll in there, give the wrestlers water, you know, towel.
Young Lions, a lot of times.
That's my favorite. That's going to be
awesome.
me. You watch.
That's respect. That's respect.
Get that ice pack.
Able to do that for that entire show. So yeah, that was awesome.
Okay, I thought I recognized you from there, bro. I thought I did. Okay, so here we go. Question number 3, and the tension in the room. Just, hey, man, tell me Moses ain't a main event guy. It's first time on the show, and we're going down to the final question. This is so good. All right, here we go. Depending on your information, 2 wrestlers are often considered as the wrestler with the most NWA championship reigns. One of them is Nature Boy Ric Flair. The other one is a former WWE King of the Ring.
Harley
Race.
Harley Race is correct. That was really close, Sonny Money. We need you to break this tie, man. That was real close. Who got it?
I listen, man. I'm being dead honest here. This is a shoot. I heard Moses. I heard him.
I'll take it.
Baby.
I was gonna say it after you mentioned the most NWA championship runs. I was gonna say it right after that, but I was like, I didn't know if I should wait for him to elaborate a little more. So,
well, and I just want to throw this out there. It's bad if I didn't get some of these answers right. It's worse if Moses doesn't know Harley Race, considering he goes to his school.
Leland probably would have killed me if I got that wrong.
You up, bro.
Payment not accepted this month. Just go down the road. You know what I mean?
But wait, but guys, he did. So epic win sound effect. Let's go. Getting total video game anime vibes. I freaking love it.
It's Final Fantasy VII, bro.
Well, I'm going to excuse myself, and I just want to say this, Moses. Just one thing about the Wrestle Talk Game Podcast Game Show Challenge for next time: unlimited responses. You could have said the wrong answer 10 times. As long as you get it first, you win. Number 2, I loved your answer about faith. Thank you for answering that. We've done something here for about 400 episodes out of our close to 500 that we've been criticized for. We have this little thing called Snippets of Truth. Perry wasn't available today. Otherwise, he would have been here. We do like 5 minutes and we end with prayer. We've been criticized. We've been chastised. People call us corny. I don't really care, bro. But we stay true to ourselves, and it's gotten us this far, bro. So I'm going to tell you, as a relatively OG, bro, keep it, bro. Don't let nobody take it away from you, bro, because we know that everything around us is temporary, bro. There's only one that is eternal, bro. So keep that energy, bro. I love it. I will always follow and support you. And tell Mike he needs to put out some merch because we want to support him.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Much love. Much love.
Respect, yo.
Well, listen, man. Everything I expected plus more with this interview. Gabe, I think you would feel the same way right there. Gabe, you're muted up, brother. You're muted up just in case you didn't know.
No,
but,
I noticed, but I appreciate it, Tony.
Everything,
I'd say this combination's pretty good. Sorry to talk over you, but
no, you're good, bro. You're good. You're good.
I think we're crushing it right now.
No, we're crushing it, and we wouldn't be able to have a great of an episode if we without a great guest tonight. So Moses, I seriously, man, I thank you so much for coming on. I know people are a little bit hesitant coming on, but I hope you know now that you are on, you are now officially part of the Wrestle Talk podcast family. All right, I want you to know that. All right. So listen, before we go, do me a big favor, man. This is your time to shine right here. All right, we're gonna put you on the screen. I want you to put out your socials where we can find Moses the Deliverer and pimp or promote anything you want to pimp or promote right now. Any upcoming shows, merch, website, anything you want to pimp or promote. So give us the socials. Give us where upcoming where we can see Moses the Deliverer in person. All right.
Deliver us, brother.
Yep. On Twitter, you got me at the__deliverer. And then on Instagram and Facebook, just Moses the Deliverer or the Deliverer Moses. I might be one of those variations. But yeah. And then we got, like I said, we have this Friday, Derby City Wrestling, a show in Louisville, Kentucky. This Saturday, WLW United Champions 5, NWA versus WLW. And then this Sunday, the Grandel Wrestling. So if you can make it out to any of those shows, try to make it out. If you can support from afar, do that. Both will be appreciated. But yeah, that's about all I got.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Moses, please do me a big favor, man. Please just keep doing what you're doing. All right. You're inspiring a lot of guys who are still up and coming in this game. The OGs in this game recognize what you're doing, and from all your hard work, you're getting opportunities, and they're well deserved, man. And we will always 100% support you over here at Wrestle Talk Podcast. Welcome to the family. Thank you so much for being
me, brother.
I appreciate it, guys. Much love.
Nah, much love, man. Thank you for being a part of episode 474 of the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Welcome to the Wrestle Talk Podcast family, man. Thank you, bro.
Sure. Take it easy.
Take it easy. So, Gabe, my man, that was a beautiful interview, bro. But what happened, dude? You slipped, man. You were kind of late to the show on that second question, man. Like third question, second, third.
We gotta check the tape, okay? I don't think I was as far back as you think I was, but I will still give that to Moses because he's an amazing person, an amazing talent to have here on the show. And I think this combination needs to happen a little bit longer, especially if we have Renee in the back like we had today. I'm glad he could give us some input, give us some extra coverage on the technical aspect. I know me and you got to learn this podcast setup here in Streamlabs a little better.
Very impressive.
Nah, me and you, man, beautiful tag team, bro. Tag team PWY, #1 tag team of 2024. We right there. All right.
Not a dime. Get
out of here, Night Owl. I don't want to hear that BS. Listen, 474 wouldn't be able to go as smooth as it was if it wasn't for Gabe Arsheen from the Sunshine State of Florida and Sonny Money Mayo hanging out in the Midwest doing my thing right here in KC. All right. Big shout out to Night Owl in the background. All right. Big shout out. Hey, one more time, Night Owl. We got to do it for everybody who's helping us here at the podcast. One more time, Night Owl. Give it to me on the bottom there. Listen, we won't be able to do this podcast, without all of our great sponsors. So big shout out to Royals Mills Transportation, my brother DeJuan Mills, Noble Men's Barber Lounge, KCMO. Go get lined up. Kincaid Arcade at Oak Park Mall. Big shout out to DBD. Interstate 70 Sports Media. Big shout out to everybody over there. Little Popeye Designs. Get your Wrestle Talk podcast tumbler for, I believe it's $20. Don't quote me on that. And as we've seen in the middle of this show tonight, my favorite sponsor of Wrestle Talk podcast, the FWWC, folks. Go check it out. Even if you don't want to join, just go check it out. Highly entertaining. You can't physically get into a pro wrestling ring? Well, this is the answer right here. It is the world's premier fantasy wrestling group, the FWWC. Gabe, thank you for 474, brother. I had a great time, man.
Man, I can't. I'm just over the moon right now, man. This show went fantastic. It's crazy to think. Like, I'm looking at the timer right now. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I feel like we could go for another 3. But with 474 in the book, we can finally start moving towards 475 and one step closer to episode 500, because
it's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be fantastic. So here at the Wrestle Talk Podcast, I'm Gabriel Arsene. This is Sunny Money Mayo. We're going to be signing out here for the Wrestle Talk Podcast here tonight. Thank you again, and we'll see you on the next show.